It's off exit 10, presented by Capital District Sport and Fitness.
Either that or Mike is secretly working at the crisp cannoli.
I don't know if I have time for that.
I was gonna say something else, but we'll just keep that under wraps.
It's my only fan's name.
The crisp cannoli. Jeez. Sign me up.
Oh, man.
Subscribe. Jesus.
No, man, boys, I appreciate you coming on. This is I don't know, Pierce. You guys were both on probably last spring.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I don't even know when it was last time. This is the second run, though, for sure.
Yeah, I forget when Pierce was on. Maddie was on in like May, we said, right?
Yeah, May sounds about right.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
With the painting crew, and then
I was going to say expansion.
It was definitely, I know it was definitely hot because Nickel was sweating his ass off, and so was Alex.
He was like bright red and sweaty.
Yeah, he looked like he went swimming.
Yes.
All right, and before we go on, I don't want to confuse people too much. So we have Pierce and we have Maddie. So Pierce, just
Check
your
in.
voice. Yeah, check in.
Check 1 2 1 2 3 1 4.
All right.
Maddie, let the people hear your beautiful voice.
Check 1 2 1 2 6 7 9er. It's testicles. Yep. Oh man, that sounds familiar.
That was good.
I'm nervous if a soundbite's going to pop out later for me. And it's not
Donkey basketball. Was that Pierce?
This man's got
That's a good
this
one.
shit rolled up.
I like
his
it.
entire
Hang on.
sleeve.
So you have to explain that one. What led to donkey basketball?
Because they were telling me one of the most absurd things I've ever heard occur in high school was ride a donkey and play basketball. And
In our high school gym.
yeah. Did you do that?
No.
Oh, you're looking at me like you're like
no.
Tell me more.
Well,
tell
but
me more.
you're from Hudson, right? So like,
That's
Does that
true.
really surprise you that Chatham did that?
No, because you guys were a bunch of farmers.
Yeah.
So donkey basketball sounds pretty accurate.
Right up our alley.
I mean, I just
And fun fact, Mike's wife rode one of the donkeys.
Okay.
Yeah. Picture
if
that.
I was to ask Sam, did she have a good time or no?
I'm pretty sure her donkey didn't move.
Yeah, you see, that's what I mean.
Like,
More
like
if the donkey
she got
shits on the
she got-
basketball court.
She got stuck with the donkey that like didn't move.
Yeah,
I'm like
that would
almost
suck.
100% sure.
Like, how does the picking the donkeys go?
They just assign them to you.
Yeah, so you're screwed.
So a person is a donkey.
Well, the donkeys walk in the gym, and they're just like, you get this donkey, you get that donkey, and then you ride on the donkey, and you're playing basketball.
And the whole idea is you can't like shoot the ball unless you're on the donkey. You can go get the ball, but you have to be on the donkey to like do anything really.
What bored PE teacher is coming up with these things?
It's a good question. We're not the only school. I did look it up. There's a lot of other schools that do it. It's probably very frowned upon now.
I was gonna say, what do you think the first pushback would be for riding damn donkeys inside of high school playing basketball?
I mean, I'm just surprised PETA didn't show up. So
yeah, I'm sure they were a thing then.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
Had
Jordy's in the drops. In the drops.
I wanna know how
At
many
first,
there
I
are.
was trying to figure out was this like sound from like a porno or was this a donkey?
I just heard this screech.
What porno would that be?
I don't know, dude.
Because we're listening to donkeys right
well,
now.
it was
so
very faint. In
unless
my
you
ear,
have
and I was
something
like,
going on.
What's going on over there, dude?
This was actually from Chatham High School circa 2012.
Well, good thing I wasn't there.
That's right. Yeah. Wait, when did you graduate?
Oh wait,
Jeez.
yeah, I'm an old fuck.
I forget.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird to think, man.
That was high school, you said? Oh, wait.
Oh wait, college 2012.
Yeah.
Man.
Damn, I graduated high school in 2016.
Yeah, well,
It's crazy to think about. But
2014 for me.
2014.
Yeah. I turned 26, 3 weeks ago? And I was thinking about it on the way up here. I was like, man, I'm 26 now. And when I first met Mike, he was 26.
That's when you put things like that in that perspective.
That is strange. Like the passage of time. And even just like being here, talking about the gym and like just beginning, like knowing you. And then just like having all of this like in the works.
that
Yeah,
is wild to think about because did you meet Mike because of the gym? Like because
No, I met Mike because I worked for his dad.
I knew you worked for his
Right.
dad, but I didn't know it
And
was when this gym was
The gym wasn't even
It
a
wasn't
thing.
a thing
when
yet.
first
So
met
I
Mike.
had moved back to New York in like the winter of 2018, so like January 2018, and like
So
I
you would
just,
have been like 27.
yeah, and I
almost.
just like upheaved my whole life in Boston. You know, like friends and people going out. So I was like, what the fuck am I gonna do in Chatham while we're working in the gym up here? So I would go out to like the Brew with like Maddie
Yeah.
and Box and EY probably.
What a
when I was
squad.
a fresh 21.
Yeah, that's wow.
Yeah,
Fre-
just
fresh
turned
meat.
20. Yes. Oh yeah, and no, these were the guys that took me out. Mike, I think you were there for my 21st.
Probably.
Just like in and out, but
Yeah.
it was mostly the painting crew, and yeah, that was quite the night.
Sounds about right for Mike's social gathering. In and out.
Yeah, I like to make an appearance. But I can't stay
Hey,
too
split
long.
second.
Splits.
I didn't even know Mike was there. That's how fast it was.
Well, to be fair, it was your 21st, so
yes,
there might have been some other factors
that's also
that led
true.
to you not
That's
realizing he
also
was
true.
there.
Do you remember where you went?
It was the Brew and then the People's Pub.
The People's Pub.
The People's Pub. Pub of the People.
Yep.
It's a good spot, but that's like Chatham. It's like that's
it.
where you're going.
You gotta
right?
go
It's
two
one or
spots.
That's
two.
all it is.
So
And
you got.
You
two
can
spots.
only take so much of it, although I was there last night. So
Listen, well, you got to make your rounds. You know, you got to make your appearances.
listen, Thursday karaoke night. You
What?
better believe I was up there.
Were you busting a move on the mic?
Reluctantly, but yeah, I was
Okay.
up there.
What was the song choice?
What was it? It was the Righteous Brothers. You've lost that love and feeling, like from Top Gun when they sing that song. Yeah,
Do I know that song?
yeah, you do.
You have to know that song.
You've lost that love and feeling.
Jay,
Whoa.
play me a
Yes,
little
Dave.
bit.
All right, there we go.
You don't have to sing along. I just
I really
just
hope
want to
you
know
don't
if,
have to
if
sing
I know
along.
this.
I really hope your karaoke was better than that last time.
Oh no, it was not.
I like to go out and drink just to like wind down and hang. But yeah, there's nowhere between like I'm sober to like I'm blackout where I'm becoming like a very social person.
See, I'm alright.
I'm definitely more talkative. but-
Yeah, and I like being social, but my problem is I'll just say yes to anything. So if someone's like, I don't even need to be drunk. If someone's like, hey, come up and sing with me, I'm just like, all right, yeah, fine, whatever. I hate to leave someone hanging like
Right.
that.
The
so-
yes
It's
to
a good
every
friend.
the yes to everything though, that's like me on the work front. I'm a yes to everything to a fault. But personally, I don't go that direction. I'm almost like on the complete other end, where I'm like a no to everything to a fault.
Oh, I'm like that in every angle. That's probably why your dad liked me so much. He could tell me to do anything. And I would, oh, there we go. There's
Yeah,
another
I mean,
sound
Do
bite.
it. Okay.
Maddie, we don't have any like straps or anything for you or a ladder. Just scale that building. He's like,
Oh.
okay.
Here, pour me up.
Yep.
Pretty much. I mean, yeah.
This is not gonna last long.
But I think when you're younger though, like you need to be a yes person in like the work sense, even a social sense. Like you got to put yourself out there.
Well,
Yeah.
it's that mentality of being a team player. I mean, listen, I would tell our listeners right now, can you identify the guy who didn't play sports? And I think it'd be very evident that it's the guy in the gray sweater.
You never know, dude. You never
What?
know.
Pierce?
no, the other gray sweater, the dad sweater. But I mean, I still had that mentality of just like carrying your own weight. That was just something that was stressed on me when I was a kid. Like doing your part and contributing. So.
It's definitely been an interesting shift too. Like, because I'm 25 now, and like just like what you're saying, you feel like on a personal level, you were saying how you just like no. I feel like I've done the yes for a little bit, like probably through 21 to 23. But then obviously it might be because I'm busy, a lot more busy, and really trying to get my feet underneath me in terms of career. But I don't know, like I don't know if it's a bad thing, but I feel better like saying no instead of yes, and like I just feel like a better sense of like picking and choosing. It makes it more of a better time when it's like on occasion than it is
Yeah.
like because we would just go out
And-
and that's just kind of is for everyone. But
Right.
like, and I like going out. Don't get me wrong, but like I don't know. Like it just seems like now on the occasion basis thing, and it's slowly starting to get that way. And I'm slowly starting to realize that. Like I can't remember last. I mean, I've had drinks and stuff, but I'm talking like going out to Saratoga till 4 a.m. on the 4th floor of Gaffney's and just like wondering.
Trying not to get stabbed.
Not even that, but just like what the hell is going on? Like, where am I? Like that's, and not that I was getting belligerent either, but it's just like, just interesting to see how without even realizing it, like that shift in, I don't know. Like, it just happens without me even thinking about it. And then next thing you know, I haven't gone out in, like, I don't even know, probably like 6 months, unless it was like New Year's Eve.
Yeah, but I think that's just like starting a career and your priorities shift.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
And that's a big part of it.
Well,
but
and-
even just like, even there's just nights where I'm like, I just don't.
I don't want to.
I don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, and-
besides, unless there's like priorities. But
Right. Well, and that's for me one of the things that I've grown to do as I've gotten older is I definitely was somebody that would always kind of say yes to going out to things, even if I didn't really want to go. It's like I'll just make the best of it. And then I found myself on those times when I didn't want to go is like I was miserable when I was out.
Yeah.
And then everybody else is like, "Oh, why aren't you having a good time?" Like, 'cause I
Yeah.
didn't want to fucking be here to begin with, and you guys dragged me out. So that was like a tipping point for me, like, or a point where I was just like, if I don't want to go out, I'm gonna say no. I'll deal with the repercussions of saying no, because otherwise I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna be miserable. Everybody's gonna ask me why I'm miserable, so then they're gonna be miserable. And I'm like, I don't want to be that guy. I'd rather be the guy that you hate because I didn't go out.
And even like when it comes to like job too, like when, you know, I'm working in a school all day, and when we went to Druthers that one time in Clifton Park, I walk into the work week the next week, and on Monday I have a kid come up to me in like second grade and say, "Hey, I saw you at this this restaurant / bar over the weekend," and I'm just like replaying. Like, don't get me wrong, I had a decent amount. We had a decent amount of drinks. Like, I was drunk.
we were holding it back.
but it wasn't like I was belligerent like you going out like
Yeah.
how we usually did. But
We had a good amount.
I'm
of
just
beers.
thinking like then I have to replay in my mind. Like I have to be more like, what did I do?
Yeah. That's the
And
one.
was this kid just like sitting in the chair and playing beanbag toss or whatever, cornhole, and here I am just like betting on sports or something, like
Running
just
through
like,
the cornhole
literally,
games.
just like I'll take another beer, like slamming the table and
That
stuff.
guy that I look
But-
up to is a complete degenerate.
Yeah, and then, so
Wow.
he's like, I saw you this week, and I'm like, what did you see? And it's like I have to like obviously carry professionalism and stuff, and
Yeah.
I mean we all have different personalities when it comes to work and then outside of work, but and it doesn't make it wrong, but it's just like you just have to like. I couldn't imagine if I was in that scenario where I'm out in Saratoga till 4 a.m. and it was that type of situation, and he's like, I saw you that weekend, and it's different.
How
It's
crazy would it
he-
be if a 12-year-old kid was out in Saratoga
Yeah,
at 4 in
that-
the morning?
That would be like
come up by the
red flag right there.
scruff of a dog and just be like, "Where are your parents? And how did you get in? What fake?
Immediately.
You must have the best fake in the world."
See, I was never living here in like the you go out in Saratoga years.
Yeah,
like
neither was
those years were Boston for me. But when kids talking around here, it's always like Saratoga's where you go.
I feel like Albany's gone downhill in like Troy, Schenectady, like Rivers is a big part, I think, of that area, but like Saratoga especially.
Like Saratoga is definitely
It's
the
fun.
spot.
I'm not gonna lie. I mean, the track season is
Yeah.
like nothing.
But you
else,
live in
but-
Troy, Jay. Troy's
I do.
nice, right?
Yeah, it depends what you're looking for.
Well, right.
and that's anywhere.
Well, and Troy's
Like,
coming up too. Like I feel like they're slowly
what I
adding
mean.
more and more.
I feel like
Yeah,
Albany's
it'll
just
never be
going-
Saratoga, but it doesn't want to be Saratoga.
No.
Yeah.
Saratoga. I mean, yeah, that's like not my scene. That's not my crowd.
Same.
And Albany's gone downhill because I feel like what PSP got sold or whatever it was.
What's
and it's like Pearl Street Pub.
Pearl Street
Just
Pub
like a
got
big-
well, and when we were growing up, I remember like before when I was in college and I would come home, or like when I graduated college, before I moved to Pittsfield, there was like Envy or something.
What was the club for like teens back in the
Sneaky
day?
Pete's.
It was always on Fly 92.
Sneaky Pete's, yeah, that's
They'd,
suspicious.
they'd sell like mocktails to like
Yeah.
15-year-olds.
I-
See, find
It's like the lawsuit with
see if you can find a
Fireball.
commercial for that.
I went
They're
to
selling the fireballs, the ones that don't have
What was it
alcohol
called
in them.
though?
Sneaky Pete's.
Was that before your time, Matt?
Yeah. Why would
pretty
you
sure.
name your place Sneaky Pete's
Sounds
and
like a strip
invite
club.
a bunch of underage?
Well, because you were trying to be sneaky about it. You know?
Sneaky
I'm
Pete's.
pretty sure it was.
Is that
Sneaky
someone's
Pete's.
uncle?
What was it? It was a dance club, right?
It was
don't
like
know.
a dance club. Like it was like if you went to like a bar in Saratoga, but they just didn't have alcohol because it was for like.
But I think they sold like
Cops just driving
fucking
by.
like mocktails, like
Yeah.
drinks
Suspicious.
without alcohol.
Well, I went there once with Alex that was here, and our friend Cody, and we broke down on the way back because we ran out of gas because Alex is an idiot.
How do you run out of gas?
Well, his gas gauge was a little weird, but like he ran out of gas.
I'm a freak when it comes to that.
So am I. But this was when I was
can't
like,
risk it.
This is when I was like, he was like 18, I think. So anyway, we break down on like I-90, like right off of like exit 9, like basically where I live right now, and we had to push the car off of.
I've
off
never
the
been in that
exit.
situation
No.
before.
Yeah,
Never
it was
catch me
rough.
in that. Well,
No.
Meanwhile,
I-
we're trying to push the car, and Cody's in the front seat and not steering at all or doing anything that's productive. And Alex and I are looking at him like, dude, You just have to steer the car. We're the ones doing the work.
Jesus,
Get it done.
The only time I ever thought I was gonna be there was when I was working for Dave Matt, probably in like early college, and he always has a truck that's just like it works.
Yeah,
But it's
it's struggling.
It's struggling.
It's letting out a couple of breaths every couple seconds.
Always. And at this point, he had one that worked but was struggling and was a stick shift. And I never took the time to learn to drive stick. And we were in like Harlemville, and he's like, you got to go back to the shop and get something. Like, I need it.
Oh God.
And I was like, I can't drive stick. And we went over in the person's driveway. He's like, but, here's what you do. And I was like, holy fuck.
Just like the shotgun.
He's like,
Just
sounds like, go pick this up
get
for
him,
me.
kid. Go get him.
I ran every stop sign.
Yeah.
Yeah, terrifying.
Because you don't know how to downshift, and you're like, wait, what's this other pedal do?
That's a lost art. Can you drive stick or no?
I can. Yeah, I drove that ugly car. You remember that ugly green car that I had with a huge dent in the side?
Not really.
The little Ford?
Yeah, that I was relentlessly made fun of for driving.
We saw a smart car today.
Oh my God, it's the size of this desk. Like, I swear to God. And the guy in it was...
I was like, let's pass him to just see how big this really is. And the dude was like, fucking like Thor, like Jason Momoa in the thing, like took up the whole
like
thing.
it was completely worth going past the guy just to see the size of the person in the small car, because it was exactly what you would think. A big dude just in a little tiny car.
That's
Like,
great.
he was the only person that fit in it.
Yeah,
That is a very secure individual.
to be in that car.
Yes.
Just like,
Gives
yeah,
no fucks.
I don't give a shit.
Well, I feel like that's not a secure car. I feel like it can't be safe to be in
Oh,
that.
not safe to be in,
way.
but like self-esteem wise, that guy's like, yeah, I don't care.
Yes.
Oh, well, you
I'm
can't take pride.
6'5".
You can't be sitting there just like, oh, yeah, this is the shit. Like, no way. No
The car
way.
can only go 30 miles an hour.
Yeah. Just barely getting moving.
Runs
but-
on a battery.
It's got an OnlyFans
Yeah.
/ crisp cannoli bumper sticker on the backside of it.
Support-
Next
Chris
to
Cannoli.
it is a bumper sticker that says size does not matter.
This whole stick shift too. I mean, I remember, was it Hoosick Street in Troy where it's just
nightmare.
uphill?
Yeah.
And I remember being a little kid and driving to she lives in Hoosick Falls, and I just remember driving with her, whether it was, I don't know, my parents were going out or whatever, this and that. And I literally thought I was going to die going up that hill, because when you change shifts or whatever and stuff, the car would go like
When you
3
roll
feet
back,
back.
yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
like, here I am, a little kid, strapped in, thinking I'm on a roller coaster, like going up Hoosick Street or whatever it is. And then my aunt just changes gears or whatever, and I literally thought, like, I remember screaming and crying as a little kid, thinking that we were going down. Like,
my story with manual transmission was my sister. Her first car, Ford Focus station wagon, very ugly looking car. It was my dad's car that he gave to her. So, yeah. Oh, dude, we had the ugliest cars. It was just fantastic.
it's the best thing ever.
Definitely. But you cherish that thing, you know? That's your first car.
Yeah, sometimes you have. Listen, all the kids in here are amazing, but just like some kids here just grew up like, we all grew up okay, but not the tier that some people live at around here. So you get kids that pull up in like a new BMW and a new Jeep, and you're like, you're kind of missing this layer of life where you like gotta have a shitter Focus station wagon.
And then when you get something that's good, you appreciate it more.
Right.
So that's,
Yeah, Mike and I are still waiting on that.
I'm riding my Civi out.
Mike's riding his Civi out. I'm riding my Kia out till that shit hits the fan and never can be driven again.
Never comes back.
But okay, you in the Focus.
So yeah, so
station
the
wagon.
ugly station wagon Focus. So my sister, fresh 16-year-old, I'm 14 at this time. She's just driving. She has me go out and start her car, and here I'm just used to starting an automatic car. So my sister's explaining to me, hey, I left it in first gear, so just make sure when you start it, you use the clutch. And this is just like completely foreign to me. I've never been behind the wheel of a car.
What the fuck is a clutch?
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, wait a second. I thought you just turned the car on and off. So she leaves it in first gear. That was what she did, I guess. So for people that have never driven like manual before, if you don't have like the e-brake up and you're still in first gear, once you start the car, it's going to like leap forward and then stall if you don't switch over and start hitting the accelerator. So I go in, I start the car, don't hit the brake, car leaps forward into our garage.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic.
Stalled out immediately, but here I think it's still running. I jump out of the car, fall onto the ground. I'm like, oh my God. And I was just
on the ground.
panicking. I was like, my dad is gonna kill me. Like, what are my options now? I guess I can run away. Like that's, I guess
One toy.
I can just start going on foot and running away. So I go back in the house. I'm like, Madison, what the fuck did you do? Like taking no accountability. Just like,
this is your fault.
this is your fault.
Toss the keys to Dad. Park the car in the garage. Don't worry.
Yeah, everything's fine. So I remember my aunt came over and she's like, all right, listen, it was winter time. So I think to get through it, we ended up covering the huge dent in the garage with a bunch of snow. Just to soften the blow when my dad came from work. And it was like a day or two later, we're like, yeah, by the way,
It's like when you like accidentally punch a hole in the wall and then cover it with a picture, and you're like, "Yep, that's it."
Who here's punched a hole in a wall before?
Yeah.
Oh.
There
If
we
all
go.
five, who's,
Right
I
in the
remember
living
seeing
room.
all five go up. That's a thing just guys do. You're gonna do it at some point.
Dude, I didn't know what else to do.
If you have, my age was I couldn't drive yet, so I had to be 15 or 16.
I remember yours.
Yeah, 15 or 16.
I remember yours.
Go,
that was
Paul.
a big deal.
Mine had to be around the same. The first time had to be around 15 or 16. I've
Okay.
done it more than once.
Maddie?
I was 12.
Oh,
I thought I'd be the youngest. Go.
I think I was 15.
Wow, maybe that's when it happens, Jordy.
College, like 21.
Did anybody sustain like real injuries from it?
No.
No.
not from
no,
a
no,
wall.
No, me
well,
neither.
not from a wall that wasn't brick.
Yeah, well, drywall. You got to start with drywall. You can't go right to brick.
Well, listen. Long story short.
What triggered it? Do you guys remember? What triggered your first hole punching? Kids who are listening right now, they're like, I haven't done it yet. It's fucking coming.
I don't think it was
I'll share mine. You guys.
I don't know if I remember, to be honest with you. I
Jordan,
don't
do you
think it was
remember
as big of
mine?
a deal as it
I
needed
remember
to be.
yours.
It definitely wasn't. It
I
definitely wasn't
wanna
as big
hear
of a
this
deal as
story.
it
You
needed
wanna
to
hear
be.
mine?
I do. I
Yeah.
want to hear this.
Mine was. I think I was in the right. And if Lisa, my mom's listening, Jordan, you think I was in the wrong?
Jordy was
Said
already
He
shaking
was-
his head.
Of course you're in the wrong.
Okay, well,
First of
we'll
all,
let the
he punched
people
a hole in
decide.
it.
First
We'll
of
let
all,
the people decide.
Mike, if you bring up Lisa and you in this situation and you're punching a wall, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that Lisa's definitely not wrong.
So I became a little meathead back in the day. I say I was like 15, and I wanted to go to in Chatham. You'd work out. It was below the Morris. It was like
the finish
Chatham
line.
Finish line, and then it became Chatham Fitness. And I just wanted, I wanted to get my lift in after school. I had to get fucking buff for social studies. And I was like, Mom, the high school weight room's closed. Can I walk to the Morris to get my lift in? And she's like, No, you can't. I was like, Mom, I
what
just
the
want to
fuck?
lift. Come on.
Gains.
And she's like,
Gains.
No, I'm picking you up and you're coming home. And I walked in the garage and I punched a hole through the drywall.
You see what I'm capable of doing. This is what the gym can do.
I think that was it. I think that was
Let
it,
me
Jay.
live.
So you got picked up,
Yeah.
had to be driven all the way home, and then you punched the hole in the wall. So you had time to let this like settle.
No, it was
passenger
festering
seat
that
just
entire
steaming.
ride. It's like, I'm going to punch a
I mean,
hole in
mine was
that
definitely
wall.
something to do with my mom, and I will say that I definitely was in the wrong, whatever it was. But that whole like covering the hole with the picture,
Were you-
100% did that.
Paul, were you with me when, was it me and you, where I just wanted to fucking lift?
Oh yes, it was. It was me and you.
I just
I
wanted
did
to
too.
lift.
We just wanted to work out.
We broke into the school
Yep.
to lift. And then the police came.
Yep.
Oh, my God.
What?
Wait a
All
second.
right. All right.
What just happened?
Yeah.
Context.
Go.
Context to the story. It was the winter, and we had
Okay.
asked one of the dads that we know who was working out to leave the
Window.
weight room window open.
Oh, my
Yes.
Because the way they locked it was with a fucking piece of like wood.
Wood to
piece of
block
wood.
the
That was
window.
it. Just to lock the window. Right?
Was it
So-
Rusty?
Yes.
Okay. Shout out
So,
Rusty.
so then Rusty did, but the janitor must have been cleaning up, and he
Right.
put the thing.
And he
back
did
in.
his job. He
Did his
locked the
fucking
window.
job. So
Leave it
Mike
to
and I are
Rusty.
sitting there trying to shimmy the fucking window open, and it's not moving. And then it's dead winter, and so the glass is a little fragile, and we push a little too hard, and it fucking cracks, and we're like, oh fuck. So yeah, basically we left at that point, and
Yeah.
we
What, they get us on camera? Because they knew it
was
was
gonna say,
us.
How'd the
no,
police
what
get involved
happened?
then?
What happened was, I believe the police ended up getting involved for like trying to break and enter. They tried to blame it on somebody else, and then Mike and I were like, "Nah, that was us."
Yeah.
you
At least
up
you
to it?
owned up to it.
You got to own up to your stuff.
Yeah.
And then, but then the best part was they tried to like
No one?
suspend us.
I
for
knew you have to
baseball
own up to
season.
your stuff, but I mean,
They
breaking
did
the
try to
glass,
suspend
you know?
Mike and I for like part of baseball, and our coach was like, "Absolutely fucking not." And then we just had to go clean the complex. That
So
was it.
Stouts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stouts was like, "Absolutely fucking not." They were
Yeah.
trying to
Shout
work
out
out.
Stouts. What a guy.
I
Shout
gotta
out,
say, leave it to a guy named Rusty to let a bunch of kids break into a building. Hey, Rusty,
window open.
you guys got it. Yeah, I got you. I got you. Yeah.
Yeah, well, he would call his kid Box and his other kid Skins.
Oh, it's that Rusty. Yeah, all right.
Makes sense now.
It makes so much sense. Yes.
What did he call
I
his
love
kids?
it.
So we had two friends, Brian, like Ben, all of our friends, like very close friend, incredible person.
Nickname
but
was Box.
we've never called him by his name.
I've never called
Nope.
him Brian. Never.
Just one time.
I don't think in my life I've ever called him Brian.
One time I called him Brian, and then that was it.
It's weird though, right?
Someone else called him Brian. I was like,
I'm pretty
who?
sure-
Oh, you mean
I
Box?
think his birth certificate might say Box at this point.
That's cool though when you have a nickname like that. That just it's it.
Well, that's like for
What's
me.
the reasoning behind Box?
He just wore boxers when he was little.
Yeah, when he was little, he used to run around his boxers.
They just call him Box. Not like a.
What's
Not,
up? No, yeah. What's up, Box?
Well,
What's
and
going on,
it's
dude?
funny because when I think of that, like his nickname stuck, but his dad to this day still calls me Moose. He's like one of the 5 people that call me Moose still to this day, and that was like a nickname that I got when like he gave me. when
Yeah.
I was like 12.
Man.
yeah. Well, that's the sports, Maddie. We get all these
I
fucking
gotta
nicknames.
say, the sporting community, I never had that. I never had,
But
it's-
somehow you still developed all of these qualities that is really why you want kids to play sports: teamwork and understanding of
discipline.
like other people and discipline.
teamwork, discipline, those are
Like-
huge. Because I had that outline growing up, but it just never channeled into that direction,
into sports. You're
into
saying.
sports, because my parents were always busy working. So it was just like at that point, my dad always just stressed a strong work ethic. So I got a job when I was 14. So like other than that, and I was never really like into sports to begin with.
Yeah.
Like I never watched it growing up. I spent a lot of time with my grandparents.
It's
so.
kind of a silly. It's people love it. You got Pierce. You
I
love
love
it.
it.
Paul loves
What?
it.
Sports. Just
To
watch
me,
it.
Oh,
it's
my
funny
God.
because kids in here, like my job is I'm completely immersed in sports, and it's cool and I love it. But I just love talking to people. Like
Yeah.
I could be immersed in a group of people that are into art or into,
Oh, yeah.
and I would just be like, this is great. I love it because I just like talking to people. But I don't watch any sports.
It's so funny.
It's
too.
really funny. I had some kid the other day go, "Yo, Mike, you Jets fan?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, they suck." That's what I always say. Like I don't know what their record is. I'm like, "Yeah, it's been tough."
It's a good.
I have
it's a
like
good way to go.
I have like set lines I say when I talk about that stuff.
It's just like the
And he-
soundboard over there. It's tough.
And the kid's like, "What do you think about sauce?" And I'm just-
Your head went to
and I
the
had
kid in the
nothing.
gym.
And I was just like,
Marinara?
and I was just like, and I was just like,
Clam
and I was
sauce?
like, well, what are you talking about? And he looked at me like I had 8 heads, and he's talking about
Sauce Gardner.
some player, but I had no fucking. And the kid was like, "Do you not watch?" And I was like, "I honestly like don't watch any sports." And he was just like he had to like take a
didn't
knee.
even think
And
about
was
that.
just like,
Yeah.
what?
I didn't even think about that though. Not that I thought you were like fully into sports.
Not at all.
But, like
I think I got.
you and I are glued to the screen.
Yeah,
dude.
I was hyper into
have a
sports
problem.
growing up, and I think I just
100.
got so burnt out
That- well,
beyond, and where I want nothing to do with it because I just went like so to the extreme for
don't
so
miss
long in
playing.
my life.
I don't miss playing.
Not at all. You don't. We've
Not
talked
yet.
about this before.
Not yet.
I am.
It can be very. I mean, especially if like when career starts getting going, and like
Right.
if I do have that downtime. So far, I have not had.
But
any
I'm
of that.
11 years removed and have no desire to ever play a game of baseball
I
again.
enjoyed it. It taught me a lot. There was a lot of hardships during it, but
Yeah.
it's like once I hung up those cleats, and maybe it's because I still am affiliated with.
Well, shout
baseball
out
and
Pierce.
pitching.
Pierce is employed here now. You
Employed.
weren't last time we did it, so I appreciate
Actually,
you.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
Yes,
No,
sir.
it's been awesome. I mean,
it's an incredible
we were talking
addition.
about it before too, and just meeting you today,
Yeah.
but just the expansion, like and it's from my perspective, being an athlete and just meeting you guys with the partnership with Albany Dutchman and
Yeah,
you know.
because that's how we met. That was you worked out within our first 3 weeks of ever being
Yeah.
open in here.
yeah, and
So you've kind of had that experience from from a client to
yeah, exactly, and it's
kinda crazy.
It is crazy, and it's awesome too because a big part that we always talk about is that you guys have the environment, you provide the structure, and just the whole philosophy behind it. But a big part, I think, that helped me in my career, and then also like working towards in terms of baseball career, and then once baseball was over, just like working career too, like just that you didn't necessarily do it for me though, like because a lot of time, and that's what I use a lot of like my philosophy with working with kids. It's like I was really good at doing what a coach told me to do. I was really good at like just, hey, they show me how to do it, I can do it, like, and I give 110%. But then it came to like, how do I understand it on my own, and how do I, figure out this shit? Especially when I first started with the Albany Dutchman, that I don't know if it was the first year or the second year, but whatever year it was, I won pitcher of the year. And that's not, I'm the most humble person you'll meet, but it's like, and that's not just because, this was just the environment that was there. Like you provide the environment where you also like, it taught me how to work hard for myself and not just, have a coach be standing there, which is also great to have. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, that's the reason why you have a coach is to make sure you have advice, like tips, this and that. But like, I've also seen a lot of coaching where it's like, whether it's a one size fits all program or it's like a, just, hey, do what I tell you to do type of thing, and I'll show you how to do it. But that's where I feel like I got lost when I first got to Siena as a freshman, or a senior in high school. Like I said, I was really good at doing what a coach told me to do. I was really, talented. I got to Siena. Yes, I had the resources, but no one was checking in on me. No one was, keeping track of, what is my work ethic? What is, what is my routine? And it was a door slammed in my face when I first got there. Mm-hmm. And it was like, oh shit, like, how do I figure this out on my own? And I didn't have those strategies. I didn't have those lessons throughout growing up. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of things that were provided for me, but just the connection part of it, like speaking towards coming in here during that time, it's funny how that like started that work ethic on my own, and then I went throughout my career. It helped me out during that time, and then now in terms of working career, that discipline carried over into now putting time and effort into this as a business, and and using that towards the people that I also coach and teach too, and like trying to explain that to them of like, I'm not here to hold your hand through it.
Right.
And I don't want to do that, because at the end of the day, yes, you might learn a lot of stuff, this and that, but then when it comes time to be 18, and if they really do want to play college or they really want to go to that level, it's like, it's going to be because someone almost held your hand through it. And I think that's what we, in society today, and just like, whether it's in the classroom, whether it's in, pitching, or even in the weight room, it's like, I feel like we're all focused on the important stuff, like the big stuff, but then like when it comes to like just the self discipline and like the I find the like small stuff like just blown right over.
Yeah. But some people just like, they don't have that makeup where you have the self drive and like the motivation. Like they're okay in corporate America, and you just do your thing and you get your paycheck and you go home.
And there's nothing wrong.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's
at all. But at the same time, I knew growing up, and just like recently too, it's just like I could not be someone behind the desk. Like, and just like I like being interactive with people, not only because I want to help people, but they teach me a lot. You guys have people come on here on podcasts, or you just like have daily interaction with everyone else, and it's like, I just feel like I learn a lot from other people's perspectives. Yeah. Doesn't mean I agree. Doesn't mean I disagree. Whatever, however I interpret it, it's just, I feel like, it's just good to be surrounded by people who are, especially in here, trying to achieve something. Yeah. Rather than someone who's negative or doesn't want to work towards something, or, it's more of like a grab to try to get them to do something. Everyone who I feel like shows up in here has a purpose for something. Whatever that is, whether it's getting stronger, better at their sport, just having this environment, on the mental side of things.
They want to look better on their Chris Canoli OnlyFans page.
Yes.
Anything that, when it comes in here, I just think it's a very good environment, and I think it speaks towards expansion because, one, it's diligent, right? You guys obviously are very on top of what you guys do, and I've learned that obviously being on top of it now, being an employee, but it's also just like, it's not a handout. And I feel like I see a lot of people expecting a handout nowadays.
And that's like today, just piggybacking off of that, I remember I had a conversation with a girl, and it was like we were talking about things, and I don't think weightlifting got brought up once in the conversation. And she was like, she said something, and then I was just like, yeah, like, we want to teach you how to work out and teach you how to move better, but we also want to teach you like the little things in life, like work ethic, like disconnecting from your phone. That's one of the things that we just
had to make a new rule.
We made a new rule.
Kids can't put their phones on the floor, man. Because we kind of like, we'd see it sometimes, but okay, But then we're like, oh, this is a fucking problem.
I think it just started progressively got worse and worse over just like
Is it gonna get worse?
It is.
yeah, and I think
Like, where's it gonna go, Matt?
It's
It's going somewhere I don't want to go.
I
no,
you know
I'm
I
going to
just,
the woods if it goes where I think it's gonna go.
I just see it in a lot of younger people now. It's just like attached to it, and it's like almost like a drug.
It's
Yes.
fucking. It's that TikTok like quick.
Yeah.
It's like our like. They're shortening our attention
Attention span.
spans.
Well,
Big
and-
time.
Go ahead.
No, it's like you can't sit still,
Mm-hmm.
or like you can't just like take something in. You have to either document it with your phone, or
Right.
you have, and it's getting to the point where like there is this being like away
Detached.
from detachment. Yes,
I
detachment
knew what you
from
were trying to say.
reality.
I was trying to help you out.
I think I was trying to make up a word.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's all right. We can make up words. We're good
You're
with that.
anti-TikTok, right, Jay?
Any social media for
Yeah.
myself. I'm not going to judge you if you use it, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it doesn't serve me in any way.
And like that, I was talking to a kid today because they were asking me, "Oh, did you see this TikTok? Did you see that?" And I was like, "You want me to be honest with you? My whole TikTok feed is music and comedy
Well,
because that's all I
That's it.
ever look on."
But
there.
even I'm sure it's all the platforms, but TikTok even is fucking crazy. Like you Google like the terms and service on TikTok, and like they get access. I'm sure everybody does
I don't
to
even
everything
wanna
and
know.
like anything in
Yeah.
your phone.
don't
I
even
think they
wanna
even
know.
get access to like what you type in any like non-app. So if Matt went online and searched like Ford Focus station wagon, like TikTok knows
There's
that
a
he's
lot of that.
Yeah,
on
that
there,
he's
yeah.
that,
That
he,
happens
that he,
with
or
a
he
lot of
searched or he
platforms.
searched
Every
Chris
make and
Pinoli OnlyFans. Like they know.
Yeah.
See, that happens with a lot of platforms. I feel like when I'm
that's
talking
why
about
they-
the most random thing and the most like just
Yeah.
no one would ever think of, I open up Instagram and there's some sponsored ad that's like specifically that, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, and I'm not just gonna be like whatever like people are listening to me.
Go,
and
put on
stuff,
your
but-
tinfoil hat,
But
go.
at the same time, but it's like
Crisp cannoli.
how is that? But how is that? Wow,
Jesus
imagine that.
Christ, what
How
are you,
is
me?
that? How is that happening though? Like how is that specifically what I was just?
Does it
talking
hear
about?
you, Matt?
I don't know. I don't even want to know.
You got
So,
Face ID?
I remember when I was like 20, I was like, I need to get rid of Facebook because it got to a point where it's just like, I didn't care what anybody was putting out there. And I think I was like 12 when I first got my Facebook. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I don't care what anyone has to say. I don't care about who's following me. I don't put anything out there. And now it's just become a bunch of ads.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like, what's the point of this? So I
Right.
got rid of it. And
Yeah.
I think I tried getting an Instagram at one point. My brother kind of urged me
Right.
to like, and I did it for a little bit, but
I think I don't know where I read or heard, but like it's like if a product is free that you're using, it's not free. You're like you're selling your data to that
Yeah,
person to use whatever you're fucking using.
and they're just plugging everything into
right.
It's dangerous. It definitely can be dangerous for
and
sure.
even like for me in a different sense, like growing up, I was a big movie person, watched movies all the time, and then I found myself not being able to sit for a 2-hour movie.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck? So now like I make a
Try to
I make a
watch.
conscious effort to do it.
Try to go home. Anybody put on a fucking 20-minute TV show and try not to touch your phone.
oh, it's
I
Done.
have
Oh,
tried
I-
that.
You
I do-
can't.
I do it.
It's hard, but I do it. No, I force
I
myself.
consciously do it.
I'll leave my phone in another room
Yes.
just so I can sit down and
Or
watch
the
something.
opposite side of the room.
And it's probably why I'm one of the last people that still goes to the movies because
Oh, I
there's-
love going to the movies though.
it forces you just to put your phone away
Yep.
and just focus on one thing. Because man, if there's something I appreciate more and more the older I get, it's just not looking at my phone and just taking it in. Again, a big benefit to not having social media because you're just less inclined to have
Yeah.
your phone out recording everything. But I mean, there is like, and Jordan and I have talked about it before. There's just a lot of satisfaction in not, having to feel like you have to record everything and
Right.
show everybody something.
But
can
can't
just be
you
in the
too?
moment.
Like
Just
whether
enjoy
you
it.
you can tell yourself you're not gonna do it, but then you're comparing yourself to others too. It's just it's just part of us.
Yeah.
Easier said than done, but you just gotta like knock that mentality out of your head and not. And like I'm a huge sufferer of like FOMO.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why I got rid of it is because I would just see people out and I'm like, what am I doing wrong?
It's tough from a business standpoint though, because right, if somebody wants to come here, they're gonna go into Google or their browser and they're gonna search the gym, they're gonna search my name, they're gonna search Matt's name.
yeah.
And then you get to the point where I've talked to my dad about this because Dave doesn't really use anything on the internet. And he's like, well, what if I get a bad review? I go, what if people Google you and they just want to see something? And so then I just like went to the extreme. I'm like, well, if they're going to Google us, they're going to see a lot of they're going to know what they're getting into. And then hopefully they're going to ask me less questions and they're going to, sign up quicker.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? It's like a double-edged sword because I hate fucking going on it.
Well,
Yeah.
I think with that though, it's like it's got to be it was brought up because I remember when Instagram started. Like I'm pretty sure we were like in college when Instagram started.
I remember like Facebook I had.
And then it was really just a way to share pictures, and then it turned into what it is now. And I feel like now it's like, okay, provide, whether it's a kid or yourself, with a productive way to use it. So like using it for the business isn't a negative thing. You're using it in the way you're taking advantage of a system that like we have to take advantage
Well, you
of.
want to be you just don't want to fucking consume all day on it and waste
So
your
you
time.
have to find that balance with that. Like for instance, I told you this week there was a kid in here can talk sports with the best of them.
Yeah.
This kid and me, every time he's in here, we have like some of the best sports conversations, whether it's a hot take that I completely disagree with or not. And when he left, I was like, hey, this is your homework. I want you to start outlining. Because he told me, he's like, I want to go to school for like sports broadcasting. And I was like, okay. I'm like, go home.
Yeah, this
like
is
I want
good.
you to
This
start.
is good
I want you
advice.
to start outlining like a sports broadcasting show. I'm like, dude, you could talk sports with the best of them. I'm like, and then just start recording yourself. If you want, add like a food tasting thing in there or something, so that way you give a little bit different
and just
flavor
put it
to
on fucking YouTube.
And I said, just put it on YouTube. He's not on any social media right now because his parents are like against kind of social media in a sense, that, especially at his age or whatever. But I was like, dude, you start this now. You're gonna go to college for this. By the time you graduate college, you won't be dependent on like getting a job from somebody else because you've probably already established such a following through this. And like that's how you can use it and help kids use it to a productive way. But not enough people do that. And I told him, because I even asked him, like, hey, do you have like a Twitter? Do you have anything? Because there's another kid in here that I've said this to. And I was like, you need to just start tweeting out your hot takes. Just
you gotta
start
do
tweeting
stuff.
out.
I mean, that's like the gym. Like, kind of one of my personal goals when I started this was like, I want to have no reliance on like anybody above me. Like, I want to just be in control of what I'm gonna do and the money I'm gonna make, and then I want to like have my friends help me along the way because that's more fun. And then kind of everybody's doing their thing and growing, and we're collectively like doing it together. And I feel like we've like done and
Exactly.
we've kind of stayed that course
but it's
so
also
far.
being on the same page too. Like,
Yeah.
not that. I mean, friends also disagree too, but it's
But you
still,
can
like,
disagree, though.
Exactly. That's how you get better. In my opinion, it's like you're not going to agree on everything. If you did, I don't think it would be what it is today. No. And it goes back to the social media, this, that. Like you said, I still think there's definitely benefits from certain aspects of it, like because it is. I mean, it's such a fine line.
It's just the way the world is going.
Even just like me personally, like what I've tried to do, and it's been really hard, and I realize it's been really hard. I'm like talking about it now, but it's like I'm just trying to be more present.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, being present, man.
And you're talking about movies. I went to go see whatever Avatar 2 or whatever the new movie was.
See it.
And I just
see it,
remember.
Matt?
And,
No.
and
You
it
have
was
no
long.
interest.
It was
Hate Avatar.
Tell us why, because I value your opinion on movies. Should we? Yeah.
No, Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Yep, there it goes.
I still remember that gem of a film.
If people are confused here, we have a whole new board and setup. So Jordy has drops. Give it again. So people hear. This isn't Matt live. This is Matt from last time.
No, Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Play Matt's other one. Do you have
It's
another one?
testicles.
But tell us why.
Why
fuck
don't you like
Avatar.
Avatar? Because I think of a couple reasons, but
So I'm just not a big CGI guy. I
Okay.
mean, I just think that I just get lost in the effects, and I can see why some people really like it. But as far as like the story I'm a big story and character guy, and
it's
that's
Dances with Wolves.
exactly
James Cameron flat out said it. He's like, it's Dances with Wolves with blue people.
exactly. And again. So like I like James Cameron to a degree. I think he's got a pretty big ego, but I'm not a fan of Titanic. I mean, if I had to pick two James Cameron films, it's Aliens and the first Terminator. Exactly. I don't even like the second Terminator.
No, first one.
First one's the best one. Exactly. He's an effects guy, and that's his.
That's a shtick.
That's his thing. That's how he pulls in, a good box office numbers and all of that. But, I mean, I did not get the praise of that first Avatar movie. I was so bored by it. So I kind of passed on this new one.
Yeah. The only reason I thoroughly enjoyed the first one was because I saw it on IMAX 3D, and it was at the Palisades, which doesn't have this IMAX anymore, but it's a 7-story IMAX. Mm-hmm. And, dude, I felt like I was on fucking Pandora. Like, I was in the movie. It was, like, and again, it goes down to the effects. I think that's more why I like the movie.
Also
Like,
long as hell.
it's definitely not in my top 50 favorite movies.
But that's the
100.
thing. Watch
Like,
that at home now,
I
and
did
you're
watch
gonna have
it.
your phone out.
I did watch that at home, and it's not as good.
It's not the same, exactly.
Yeah.
I had one of those experiences. So I went and I saw the movie Birdman back in, what was that? That was like 2015.
Yeah.
I saw that in theaters and I was like in awe of it because it just had, its shtick was that it was like supposed to be like one continuous shot with like 5 like cuts.
Oh, that's like there's a war. 1917.
Is that what it is?
I
Or
think
is
so.
it
Yes.
1917 or
So
1920?
1917 was actually another example of that where I was just like seeing it in theaters. I was in awe. I was like, wow, this is like, I feel like I'm with these people right now. I watched it at home and I was like, man, the plot here is really thin. The acting's fine. Like, I love Michael Keaton. I love Edward Norton. But I was like, man, like this gimmick is not good on a smaller screen.
Yeah.
Like I'll take a Christopher Nolan movie over a James Cameron movie every day.
Yep.
What was the
couldn't
last
agree more.
Christopher Nolan movie?
Tenet, right?
Yeah.
What's he got coming out? Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
But Tenet was his most recent one with John
Actually,
David Washington.
I remember Interstellar is him, right?
Interstellar.
Yeah, that's the last one I've
haven't
seen.
the Batman's
heard
with
it's
Christian
good.
Bale.
Is Interstellar
Dunkirk.
Inception.
Dunkirk
Interstellar?
is the best.
What'd you think of it? I haven't seen it.
It's been
People
years
have,
since I've
like-
seen it. Matt can probably speak,
That's
but
with
I don't fucking
McConaughey,
know.
right?
McConaughey, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys have
What'd
you
you
guys
think
ever
of
seen Memento?
Yeah.
That's Christopher
Guy
Nolan.
Pearce, yeah.
That movie is fantastic. I was talking to one of our clients in here about like movies and stuff, and I brought that movie. I was like, you have to see. Actually, she was on the podcast, so I can drop her name.
Who?
It was Sue.
Sue gives good
Yeah.
recommendations.
Sue gives great TV recommendations. I was blown away she had never seen this movie just because like she's up on that stuff, and I was like, Sue, you got to see this movie. This movie is awesome. Like because it's a high quality like story, acting, like everything.
Matt, is this our country's best export fucking movies and TV shows?
I would say so. I mean, I will say that like Indian filmmaking is like
That's big, right? Like
it's
Bollywood,
become-
like
yeah,
Bollywood?
exactly. Like that's become so big, and I don't know what the draw is really. I mean, because I gotta say I've never really watched any Bollywood films, so I don't know. I mean, would you consider Slumdog Millionaire a Bollywood film? But not really, because it was a kind of like
I'm gonna go
American
no.
produced.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go.
that
no.
was big when that came
Somebody
out. though.
asked me today. Everybody shares their streaming with other people, right? That's how you do it.
Yeah,
I don't
Netflix is
have
cutting
one
it.
streaming.
Yeah.
I
Netflix
don't
is
think I
cutting that
have
shit.
one
What the
platform that's
What the fuck,
mine.
Netflix?
Netflix.
But,
I literally saw it. They're cutting
we
that
share
shit.
our HBO with a couple of friends who they always watch in subtitles. I can't do it.
I'm a
You do
subtitle
it?
guy.
You are?
I'm a
It,
subtitle guy.
it depends on the show.
I am. I like reading along with it.
So
do.
I'm in the outskirts on this.
Well,
like the
so
subtitles.
Mike, one reason why I started doing it is that disconnecting from your phone.
Jordy?
Subtitles.
Wow.
Disconnect.
Wow.
I only do it on certain shows though. I will say that. Like it has
too?
if it's a show I have to pay attention to.
I'm with pretty much at all there. I feel
If
like.
I'm watching a comedy, I don't need to fucking I don't need subtitles. But if I'm watching like The Last of Us, like that show.
Are you
new show-
watching that,
Are
Matt?
you watching that, The Last of Us?
I didn't even know that was a show. I thought
Jordan?
it was a movie.
Yeah, I'm watching
I'm
it.
really,
solid.
I'm really
It's based on a
enjoying
video
that.
game, right?
Yeah, it's solid. But like that's a show.
I don't know shit about video games. Jay, you've played this game?
Yeah, I
no?
have played this game.
It holds kind of true.
Pretty close. Pretty like not quite 1-to-1, but pretty damn close.
Some of the
Is
scenes
it
are
like
direct
zombie?
from.
Is that what it is? What is
Explain it, Jay. You probably
you're
can
better
speak
than
the
I
best
would
to
be.
what
it.
just the broad premise?
Yeah, I love the show.
An apocalypse. I guess it's a zombie apocalypse, but it's like fungal. You know, it's
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
mycelium, like
Yeah,
this
like-
underground network
Yeah.
of
Like what I was
fungus
reading.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
this
what I was
game
reading
puts
is
the
like
fun and fungal.
instead of like
That was good, man.
What's that?
Whose voice is that?
That's pre-built in.
Oh.
That's a freebie.
what I read about it too is like basically the creator of the video game. So the fungus, it's like what if this is a fungus that actually affects like insects and it like affects the way
Well,
their
there's
brain works.
actually a fungus that will take over an ant's body, and the ant's no longer there, but the fungus is functioning.
Yeah, that's what this
Google
is.
it,
That's what this
Google it.
is.
It's a
Yeah,
real
no,
thing.
No, this is exactly
It is
what
a
it is.
thing.
But that's
It-
real though. It's not
yeah.
made up.
No, and that's what the creator of the video game took that premise and was like, what if this happened to people? Because fungus doesn't do that to people. Like we get viruses, but we don't get that. So what if this was to happen to people? And then obviously the show is based off of the game.
And he's co-showrunner on the show.
Yeah, that's why
along
this
with
prob-
the guy who made Chernobyl, which is one of the best shows of the last 3-4 years,
Still
whatever it's
haven't
been.
seen it, but
Dude,
Still haven't
Chernobyl's
seen it, but I do need
great.
to watch it. I do need to watch it.
Yeah,
It's on my
subtitles
list.
on.
Yeah,
Subtitles
like that's one of the shows I watch with like subtitles. Is like Last of Us. Like there's certain shows I don't need it for because if it's a comedy I'm gonna pay attention. It's probably 30 minutes long anyway.
There's that. It doesn't spoil anything, but there's in the second episode they get like a doctor, and she like inspects a patient with it, and then the government in some other country sits down with her, and she's like stressing. You can tell. And they're like, hey, what do we do? Like, we got to get some medication. We got to get a vaccine. Like, let's figure this out here. And she's just like, let me go home to my family. And he's like, why? She's just like, bomb the whole place. Like, that's what we got to do.
Yeah.
And you're like, holy shit.
Yeah. It's a quality show. Pedro Pascal.
Yeah.
What else is he in?
Who's never made a bad TV show ever. Like
Mandalorian, Game of Thrones.
Oh, he's the man.
He's been in like, and I'm not a Game of Thrones person. Like I didn't watch it, but like quality wise, like he doesn't make bad things. Like every
Anyone
show.
else watch Game of Thrones?
No.
Big Game of Thrones.
I never
awesome.
did.
I
never
watched
got
House
into
of
it.
Dragons.
Sam watched them
Also
all.
awesome.
Awesome.
Really good. HBO. Yeah, HBO.
Are you
That's
like
the
a
spot.
Rings of Power guy? That came out too.
Haven't watched it yet. Have you?
I did. It was good.
Yeah.
I mean, I like that stuff too.
I
but
love the
like,
movies.
Yeah, I mean, they were especially original. But did you like The Hobbits?
Entertained, but like.
But yeah, it was kind of like it filled what I kind of needed, but at the same time.
Sure.
But Rings of Power, give it a chance.
I'll watch it. I like
think-
fantasy. I don't
yeah.
know what I didn't like is The Witcher. So I don't know if you watched
Yeah,
that.
no, I wasn't a fan of it either.
Okay.
I wasn't a fan of it either.
My
But
roommate loves The Witcher.
I never
it
got
was
into fantasy.
honestly, I think you should give it a
No.
chance.
I'll check out Rings
because-
of Power.
No,
Yeah,
I
well,
like
not that
I
one,
like
like,
I
no
like
spoilers,
I like
but-
sci-fi stuff, but not like too far.
Right.
Like I like The Last of Us because the one from the show The Fringe was in it, and I watched that in high school.
How
Remember
about
that,
The
Jay?
Hitchhiker?
Yeah, I mean, spoiler. She died.
Well, I don't want to
I-
spoil. I wasn't gonna spoil for people, but fuck it, right?
I
Fuck them.
mean,
They're
The
behind.
Hitchhiker documentary.
nobody's gonna know. No, 90% of people aren't even gonna know.
Oh, what about Pierce? I told you to watch this, and you
Yeah.
listened to me.
I listened and I was like, I mean, I didn't
Jay,
know where it was gonna go.
This is called
Something Hitchhiker with
Google Netflix Hitchhiker, and it's some dude back in like the
Kai.
early 2010s, Kai, and some guy
Documentary?
some guy
Yeah.
crashes his car, and this hitchhiker gets out with a hatchet. He's hitchhiking with the guy,
Yeah, the hatchet wielding.
and I
hitchhiker.
guess the guy, according to
Swing,
the
slasher.
thing, is like pinning this other guy against the car and hit him. He's like trying to kill him, and the guy gets out, the hitchhiker, this kid Kai, with the hatchet, and just fucking hits the guy and saves the guy he's getting. And they interview him. Can you find the interview?
What the fuck?
Yeah, I
You
know
don't-
it
dude,
from
it's
the,
actually-
the
Play the
Netflix
interview,
trailer.
but
It's
it's an
worth a
incredible
watch.
documentary. I don't. It's a good documentary.
It's hard not to spoil it. Like it's.
I don't
hard
want
not
to spoil
I
it
know,
for
it's
people.
hard to talk about.
Do you remember? I don't
It just
remember
starts
this.
somewhere
I see it's
and
on
it just
Netflix,
ends.
right?
Yes,
nowhere.
but
For
I-
what it's
thought it
worth,
would
it's
be.
a real life event. You can't spoil real life. You can just tell them what happened.
Yeah, but play the thing. The dude's just like the
It just
stoner
starts
hippie
somewhere,
guy.
and then the end. I'm just like, wait,
What?
What the fuck happened?
Yeah.
Like,
What would you like me to play?
Well, should you just play the interview? Because the guy got famous because a newscaster went there and interviewed him on the spot after he like hit this dude with a hatchet. And this is how he blew up on the internet because of this interview. He's just like a stoner fucking hippie guy. I'll see if Jordy can find it for us. But this is how he kind of blew up. But then it follows his whole story, and then it kind of like makes you question like what the motives were in actually having the guy pin the guy against the car. So at one point the dude's like, "Oh, like we smoked a blunt and I fucking laced it." I'm like, dude, you know what I mean?
so this
It's like
guy's
singing
just
demons.
tripping ass.
Right,
One-
Pierce?
Probably fighting for his life, thinking of zombies attacking him.
I was
And
just gonna
meanwhile,
say
then the guy
before.
just comes behind him, and just fucking with the hatchet.
Yeah, but then
like,
it
what's-
turns out in the end, this motherfucker Kai ends up hitchhiking to New Jersey and really kills a dude.
Like, just flat out murders him.
Yeah.
So he's actually he was just a murderer.
He was
But he
just
was
a
on
murderer.
like
Correct. Correct.
He was on Jimmy Kimmel.
You find
It was
the interview,
Kimmel,
Jay?
right? Mike was
Yeah,
it
he went on Kimmel right before- yeah.
Everyone was the
Play it?
producers
Yeah.
or whatever who did
We
like the
got it?
Kardashians. Misunderstood person who like especially when he was saying like you deserve better this and
misunderstood.
that.
I just
but
killed
like
people.
everyone bought that shit. They're like, this guy's the best. Like this guy's also struggling. Like get him on Jimmy Kimmel. The producers of like Kardashians wanted to get like everyone.
yeah.
It was just a hot grab. Like he's like everyone needs to find this. And the biggest part was it was like a wild goose chase because he was homeless. So it's like,
Right.
how do you find a homeless person?
He's not the guy in the red car down the street, is he?
No, but like, how do you find a homeless person? Like, it's
don't.
not like there's a. But
You
so
don't.
And he's
it was
also
like,
got a hatchet
exactly
on his person.
and he's notorious for hatcheting this
Yes.
guy. And everyone thought it was a great thing. Lo and behold, here comes the story. Blah blah blah. Things start getting a little darker. Blah blah blah. And by the end of it, he just flat out kills someone. So it's like,
You're like,
everyone,
oh,
this guy. But then it comes down to like Jimmy Kimmel literally had him on live TV, like using him as like marketing or whatever, this and that. And here we are a couple months later, and now he's in jail or prison because he murdered someone.
I think for a long time.
That seems
when
to
you
be
kill
the
someone,
penalty
I
for
was
murdering someone with a hatch.
out in 2 weeks, get him out of here. This is a quick trip.
All right, the first one was a freebie, but this second one
Just
we're gonna have to do
just
something.
don't do it again. Just a slap on the wrist. Make sure you don't do it again twice. It's a big no-no.
This episode of Off Exit 10 is brought to you by Drink Alchemy. Fatigue and brain fog affect us all, destroying everything we pursue. Whether as an athlete, artist, creator, or entrepreneur, our mind holds the key to performing optimally. By combining the most potent organic nootropics found in nature, Drink Alchemy delivers sustainable boost to creativity, memory, energy, and focus in one epic beverage. Stop pumping your body full of excessive amounts of caffeine and unknown proprietary blends from other energy drinks, and get clean energy from Drink Alchemy's natural nootropics like lion's mane, L-theanine, and caffeine from green tea. Used by Olympians, D1 athletes, MMA fighters, and entrepreneurs, Drink Alchemy has become a huge part of my daily routine, making sure I'm functioning optimally during long days of coaching athletes, running CDSF, and getting in quality workouts myself. So do yourself a favor and ditch the energy drinks loaded with caffeine, other stimulants, and who knows what else, and head over to drinkalchemy.com today. Live with your mind unbound and save 10% off your order by using code CDSF at checkout. That's drinkalchemy.com, promo code CDSF for 10% off your order today.
But yeah, no, I'm glad you told me to watch it because
I guess I got some watching to do.
it wasn't too long either. It was a nice hour and a half.
Yeah, I gotta give that a watch.
I don't know if you have to.
You don't have to, but I mean, it wasn't like.
I might do some
I
research.
I
So I
was
might do
locked
some
in for
research.
the hour and a half.
Maybe
Yeah,
not
me
watch
too.
it.
Like my
Maybe there's a
interest
Wikipedia
continued
page
on.
I
It
can
was
look
like,
it up on.
Yeah.
I started like, all right, whatever.
Are you
like,
watching anything now, Matt?
Right now, oh man, I've been so bad. I started watching that new Elvis movie.
How was it? 'Cause I
Somebody
I
asked
thought
me
about
here,
it.
and I was like, I have no interest in Elvis, but maybe
it's
I
too
should.
Much.
Is it too
What do
much?
you mean? Too much, and that's a Baz Luhrmann type thing. But he did like Moulin Rouge, and I'm trying to think of what else he did. Oh, he did The Great Gatsby.
Yep, okay.
The Leo one.
Because I was because it's on HBO Max, right?
Yeah.
So I've seen it and I'm like, no.
It's 2.5 hours, and there's so many colors, and it's so fast paced. But everyone's praising Austin Butler's performance, so I figured I'd give it a shot. But I got about half hour, and I was like, oh man, it's too much.
Did he win the Golden Globe, Maddie?
He did win the Golden Globe for
Will
best.
he win the Oscar?
Yeah, they just put out Oscar nominees,
They
right? What do you
did.
like, Maddie? What do you like?
Man, that's it. And that's the other thing is I've just fell so far behind. I'm not as good as I was a couple of years ago, but I'm trying to catch up now. Between I think March is when they're gonna do
Yeah,
that
I don't know
actual
when
show.
they do awards.
But
March 12th.
12th.
everyone's rooting for Brendan Fraser for The Whale, so he got nominated
I
best
did
lead
see.
actor.
I saw Brendan Fraser got nominated, and I was like, Brendan Fraser?
Yeah,
I was like, he's still alive?
dude. People love like an underdog.
Yeah, of
and
course.
like a huge comeback because I mean, obviously Brendan Fraser, big in the '90s. He had like
Huge.
the Mummy franchise.
Mummy
all the-
franchise, fucking what
Did
was it?
something happen
George
to
of the
him,
Jungle.
though? Like, was there like some allegations?
He had some personal stuff, and then no accusations against him.
Not against him, but against like was it sexual allegations or something like that?
I don't know the specifics, so I don't really. But I think it was he was making some towards someone else, and he felt like he was blackballed for making.
Yeah, I remember that.
Because he was big, like in
He was huge.
like in the '90s.
Yeah.
He had like in the early '90s, he had like
Devil's
School
Wears Prada, dude.
It
Ties,
was like Mummy Returns and stuff, or Mummy and stuff, wasn't he? In all
the
that?
whole Mummy
Yeah.
franchise.
He's in the
Journey
whole Mummy
to the- I
franchise.
remember being a kid
Yep.
watching Journey to the Center of Earth
Yep.
and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
I saw that in
Like,
theaters
yeah.
too when I was.
Yeah.
Bedazzled, I remember that.
I don't see that was before me.
That's because you were probably like 3 years old. I was 10. You were like 3. Okay. But George of the Jungle?
George
you
the Jungle.
Yeah.
was-
Oh,
You
yeah.
remember George the Jungle? That was 3 years
one
older than that.
definitely rings a bell.
But that's a kid.
That one, yeah, that one was always on Disney.
Yeah.
But then now he's having this huge comeback, this acclaimed performance. You know, like this is supposed to be like Darren Aronofsky, like specifically went after him to like. It was the same thing as Travolta getting Pulp Fiction. Like, you know, Travolta was big in the 70s, kind of went into a
fucking movie.
lull. Yeah, but then
Grease.
has Pulp Fiction, it puts him back on the map. So that was like one of those things. And then but something interesting about this year is all the Best Actor nominees are all first-time nominees, which is
Really?
pretty rare. Yeah. So that's interesting.
And who do you think's going to win?
Am I gonna mess this up if I piss?
I would.
You
be
got to
sur-
piss,
I
Pierce?
got pissed so
Yeah,
bad.
go piss.
We can do
We'll
it
keep
for
it
us.
going.
Here we go.
We're good. Paul, pour me up while Pierce is pissing.
All right.
But do sometimes, Matt, they just like throw out somebody who's like been in it for a while to throw them a bone to be like they've
Consolation
accumulated
prize, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So you look at like Leo's win for The Revenant. I've seen The Revenant. He's fine in it. I don't think he deserved a win for it. Like if I had to pick a Leo performance where he was nominated and could have won, it would have been either like The Aviator, where he played Howard Hughes and he was like phenomenal in that, or What's Eating Gilbert Grape, which was his first nomination. And man, like
That's when he was a kid, right?
he was a kid and he went all in. Like,
Well,
and that's impressive for like an 18, 19-year-old to pull off a performance like that.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So
what did you think about Top Gun Maverick?
So I still haven't seen it.
Oh, you have to.
I
You've seen the
know.
first one, right?
I've seen the first one. Yeah.
So you got to see the second one.
Everyone's saying that this one is a lot better than the
Well,
original.
listen, I can't say that because the first one's very nostalgic.
nostalgic,
for me.
yeah.
I watched it like 1,000 fucking times as a
Right.
kid.
Hey,
Between
I'm-
that and Happy
I'm,
Gilmore.
I'm gonna piss too. You guys keep it going.
Yeah, I mean, Maddie
everybody's
and
gonna-
I can
everybody's
bullshit.
gonna-
We
yeah.
got Jordy. Like, do you have to piss before we continue?
You know, I'm just gonna go in my pants
All right.
and keep
Me
the
too.
movie conversation
Me
going.
too. I'll do the same thing.
I am currently peeing my pants
But-
right now.
Well, I watched Top Gun, and when I watched the Top Gun Maverick, and I hope that when you watch this, you don't fucking blast me for this, but I feel like when I watched it, I was like, this is what a quality fucking movie is.
No,
and
but-
I'm not a Tom Cruise fan at all,
And you're gonna be shocked, but I love Tom Cruise.
which I could see. I could see why people love him. I'm not a big Tom Cruise fan, but I can 100% see why people love him.
I love, and we talked about Adam Sandler last time.
that's my guy.
But when you bring someone like Tom Cruise and Adam Sandler, I appreciate like versatility
Yes.
in an actor. Jim Carrey, Tom Cruise, like a guy who can go for. And Tom Cruise, people forget, has done some pretty funny things.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Jerry Maguire, baby.
Jerry Maguire, he's great in Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder. Dude, I remember when I found out that was Tom Cruise, I fucking lost my shit.
Dude,
I
I-
laughed harder after that.
It was the end credits scene where I just see Tom Cruise. I'm like, wait, what?
And that movie, first of all, that movie could not be made now. No. Second, hilarious.
It's great, and he's the best part of it.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
probably got like 5 minutes of screen time,
And he's the best part.
And he lights it up.
Yeah.
and he's so everything he says is so funny.
Yeah, I'm definitely not like I can't say I'm not a Tom Cruise fan because I do like a lot of his movies. So I guess I am a Tom Cruise fan, but I'm like he's not like one of my top 5 favorite actors of all time.
Yeah, I could agree with that. I mean, but I do got to say, like a lot of the things that I've seen him in, I'm just like,
Yeah, he's
man,
good.
Born on the 4th of July, he pulls such a dramatic range. Magnolia, he's great in.
Yeah.
Eyes Wide Shut.
Yeah, oh,
That's
like
a
that
serious film. Yeah,
Uh,
Kubrick, man.
Flashdance.
Yes.
Listen, I grew up with all women, so I watched that movie a lot. The two movies I probably watched the most as a kid were Top Gun and Happy Gilmore. And the fact that because Happy Gilmore, I'm pretty sure came out in like 1997.
Sandler's fucking run through that period.
Sandler,
He's
the
awesome.
fucking goat. I'm gonna fuss
Yeah.
him. He's the goat.
Grown up.
Like, what's the run, Matt?
like post SNL, because
Yeah.
he wasn't, believe it or not, was not popular on SNL.
No, I
from
can
what
believe that.
I've heard.
I can believe that.
Which is why they had this like huge firing in the mid '90s,
And then they
lost
all
a
went
lot.
and worked for Adam Sandler.
Yeah, and then you had yeah, pretty much Sandler just took him on. But like, yeah, I mean, after that, like, what did he have? His first was Billy Madison,
He had Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore,
but he had like spots. Like,
but you also had Airheads.
that's the thing. He showed up in Airheads. He was in like Coneheads. for like a little bit.
Bulletproof was in there with Damon Wayans. That's just a super underrated movie for him.
That was like the late '90s.
What did we have? Billy Madison, Little Nicky's in there, Waterboy.
yeah.
Wedding Singer.
Wedding Singer.
Singer.
Wedding Singer's so good.
And then he rolls into later. It's
Then
like
you got
Big
like Mr.
Daddy,
Deeds,
Mr.
Big
Deeds.
Daddy.
Deeds, Eight
Big
Crazy
Daddy. No, Big
Nights.
Daddy was in the era of like Waterboy and all them.
Big Daddy.
like the early
99.
aughts, pretty
yeah.
much.
And then
that
Mr.
was,
Deeds came
like-
after that.
And then it
Yep.
kind of like got into like, all right, we know what Adam Sandler's cranking out now.
Well, then he signed a crazy deal with Netflix, right? And it's just like, do what you want.
And
Well,
it-
and I remember one of Billy Madison. I was watching something about Sandler. Billy Madison, like, got blasted for how terrible it was.
Yeah.
And then it fucking went nuts.
cult status.
And I
People
was
just-
like,
yeah.
How's that
hell
even
yeah,
happen?
because because they were saying it was terrible because I think it was a lot of it had to do with the fact that Adam Sandler wasn't popular on SNL, and then he just like, and it wasn't like, you know, this riveting movie. It was just a fucking stupid comedy.
And critics have a way, especially high profile critics at the time, have a way of completely slaughtering and tarnishing a film But then you'll have people that are just genuine fans, and
I will watch
are
every
willing-
Adam Sandler movie.
Yeah, no, and I like Billy Madison. Like that movie's still genuinely like Chris Farley's like 5 minutes in that movie
R.I.P..
gets me to
R.I.P..
die. Yeah, I know, the best. And I mean, Sandler's great in it. I mean, there's just so many, and like, I mean, working a day with like me and Kit, we're always like
Yeah.
quoting Billy Madison
Oh.
or Tommy Boy or something
Oh
like that.
my God,
Yeah.
Tommy Boy is so good.
Like,
Like-
but then you get like this part of Sandler where like around the time where he's coming out with movies like
Favorite fantasies?
What the
what?
Kind of shit a
Dude,
brick.
I
We need you
saw
to
Put my
I-
phone down. I was like,
Pierce put his phone down, and then that happened. And I was like, "What did you just do?"
I guess we got to account for the ads, right? But
Yeah, we need premium.
But yeah, like anyway, you were saying.
just let it silence
So-
out over there until it gets to
like
it.
around the time where he's coming out with like Waterboy and stuff like that, he has a movie like Punch Drunk Love, which was a Paul Thomas Anderson
Yep.
film, and Philip Seymour Hoffman's in it, another rest in peace.
Yeah.
But like, you know, that's where people were like, oh man, like this guy's got range. And then he comes out with like Meyerowitz Stories, which is another one where he, you know, he shows some, and then he's got Uncut Gems.
And then did
where
you watch?
pe-
Did
never
you watch
watched
Hustler
it.
yet?
I still haven't seen
You
any-
fucking
I
have
know.
Hustle?
I don't think as good as Uncut
I
Gems.
like
but fucking
Hustle
I
better.
good.
haven't seen, I haven't
I
seen
watched
Uncut
Hustle.
Gems.
I liked it
In the
better.
last few weeks.
Good.
I liked it better than Uncut Gems.
I
Personally.
haven't seen Uncut Gems.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's so
put it
good.
below Uncut Gems, but it's really good.
Good though.
Yeah,
Really good.
like, and that's the thing though. Like, you see that range that he's got, and there's still like, he has some comedy quirks in there that he says, like little things that he says, but like, it's a serious movie. Like,
Yeah.
it's not like a, comedy movie.
No, and that's the thing. Like, I'm sure like he's still using his improv skills
Of
throughout it, but it's really, and like the character that he plays is really dark and pretty irredeemable.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just he does so well with it, and it was just such a huge shock when he didn't get nominated for an Oscar.
Yeah.
And I think he was kind of let down with that too. But
I'm happy right now we can finish these Christmas Trulies.
Yeah.
We have whoever's still hanging with us right now.
Listen,
we-
I'm gonna drink one just for fun.
I'm giving Barry Bramble a chance.
I'm gonna give.
What do you
a-
have, Matt?
pear martini,
Paul, you got
How's
say
the
it?
pear martini? Because I was about to crack it.
it's okay. It's okay.
You know what? I'm going for the cran orange one. You know,
We,
light it up. I'm gonna light it up. That's not light it up.
light it up, Jay.
Light it up. Give me the lighter. Come on. There it is. All right.
We were gonna do a Christmas episode with this group, and then we hit a snowstorm that day. I think.
it was
a
One of our
snowstorm.
first
That's right.
snowstorms of
That's
the
right.
year, and so we
I feel
had
like
to
I'm
shelf
drinking
it.
like laundry detergent.
Oh, it's not good.
It's so
Here,
bad.
give me a
Ba-
sip.
Yeah, I was gonna say, pass it around. Try the Barry Bramble.
What's this? Pear?
Give me that. Give me that.
What is that, Jordan?
Give me that shit.
I think you should leave.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
It's all right. Sorry, I'm not a big Truly fan.
Is it better than that? Because I'm kind
Yeah,
of
it's better than that. It's better than that. It's like I feel like I'm drinking laundry
Get
detergent.
that shit. That's such a great show.
That you watch that show?
It's laundry detergent.
He got me into it.
Jordan and Alyssa got me into it.
I gotta watch it.
And me and Dan, our other business partner, he loves it. And we'll walk around all the day and we'll just fucking quote it to each other and die.
They were
I
doing it
won't
today,
lie.
and I was
That on my
lost.
face.
I was lost the whole time.
The first time I watched it, I just didn't get it. Like it was
Well,
just.
was he an SNL guy, Tim
Yeah,
Robinson?
he was a writer.
Yeah.
and he may have been on a skit or two, but only for a season.
But
I
Matt,
think.
imagine him pitching his ideas to NBC.
No, it wouldn't fly.
No.
None
It
of his
didn't
stuff would fly.
Yeah.
And that's probably why he only worked 1 or 2 seasons before they
Right.
canned him. I mean, writers there, they get cycled, like, unless you're like Conan, who
Right.
like had success writing on that show. But
Right.
like, you get people like Sarah Silverman who wrote a little bit there. And again, she achieved success in her own right. But Tim Robinson's great. And he just had to find his niche. And it was through Tim and Eric, right? Tim Heidecker. I mean, that was the guy who really like got him into it. And Tim shows up and I think you should leave. But no, that is a great show. When are they coming out with the 3rd season, Jay?
I've only heard that they're filming it. I have no idea. It's got to be this year, I assume.
Yeah, I mean,
Hope
it's
so.
been like 2 years since
Yeah.
the last one. So.
Yeah, I finally did season 2, like probably within the last 2 or 3
They're
2
quick.
months.
It's
Quick,
like-
15, 20-minute
Yeah.
episodes. But fucking hilarious, man.
Any of these fuckers ever fucking fall out of the ceiling and just have like a big messy shit?
you showed me this.
Who said that? Whose soundbite is that?
That's my favorite one.
What? That's from the show. I think you should leave.
That's like the
I thought
haunted house
someone
one.
did
Remember
that
that?
here. I was like, what the fuck?
I gotta say, my favorite one is with that Paul Walter Hauser. It's the sleepover one. And
Jamie
like,
Taco?
Yes, it always changes like which sketch I like the best. But I like this one now because Paul Walter Hauser actually just won a Golden Globe for that show Blackbird.
finished that show
So
this
everyone's
week.
making these jokes about like, oh yeah, take that, Jamie Taco. He's gonna- it's a good show. I mean, it does take a specific type of humor because I know Jay and I have joked about it before. We've tried to get people to watch
Yeah,
it.
like
Yeah.
Sam struggles with. I think it's this. Like I really love Curb Your Enthusiasm, and Sam really struggles with it. I think just because of you really just like this fucking palpable, the awkwardness of
Yes.
it, and I think that's like a similar thing.
And that's the humor. Like
I enjoy it.
And here's the thing: I don't think that you really understand that sense of humor unless you are an awkward person.
No,
who's been
because
in those
I
awkward
was about to say
situations.
to Paul and Matt, because working in here, like, you know, let's say we have 75 people here during a day. You think I'm going to talk to 75 people and not have a handful of awkward fucking moments every day?
every
So
day.
like you
Oh
just
my
can
God.
kind of like can relate.
Every day.
For sure. There's times where I'm like, they're looking at me, I'm looking at them. I'm like, what's going on right now?
I'll see you now, or I'll see you on
I don't
another
know
time.
what to say to you. You're looking at me expecting me to say something. I just left you off to basically leave here. And you're just like, and I'm like, and then you have your kid looking at me too. I'm just like,
That's a chunky.
let's wrap it up and get out of here. Good talk. See you next week. Hopefully it doesn't happen like this again. But yeah, no, I hate that. I hate that shit. But at the same time, I mean,
Doesn't
like,
phase me. It
there's
doesn't
many-
phase me
I
one
don't-
bit.
I don't blink an eye.
No, there's
Like,
many times I
you
say
were
shit.
awkward or I was awkward, whoever the fuck it was. I don't give a shit. We'll try again next time.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is like all those awkward situations you don't really dwell on. Like you just kind of move past it. So, but
I
You
laugh
have
about it.
to
I'm like,
embrace the awkwardness. That's what it is.
what's funny about those shows is like they do escalate and they become more and more awkward. Like it's just taking it to a whole different level.
yeah, I'm alright with awkwardness. I used to shy away from it, I feel like, but I mean, it's also inevitable. Like, it's just gonna happen. But
I oftentimes will introduce myself to somebody and be like, listen, I'm a little awkward, so shit's going to happen, and this is what's going to happen, and we're going to be all right. You know, we'll get past it.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, there's some characters for sure
Yeah.
that we see.
It's definitely this blend in here where, like, I don't know if it's just the mindset I've put myself in, where it's like genuinely always being myself, but with this very thin, like, filter over it, you know, like, based on the person I'm talking to
Yeah.
or the situation I'm in. Like, almost like I'm myself, but I'm kind of pre-screening my thoughts based on who
Yeah,
I'm
who
with
you're
for what's,
talking
for what's
to,
going to
yeah,
really,
what's the
really
crowd,
come out.
Absolutely.
Here's nice because it's like here, it's like that filter is just fucking in the trash bin.
There's
and we're
no
just
filter,
going.
zero.
Which is why I really enjoyed having this outlet.
I go from school to here.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like fully filtered, but I mean, I'm not fully filtered. I'm still myself. Like, you still have to have.
But there's
like,
a large filter.
But I mean, yeah, you gotta be careful. Like, and I'm not careful. Like, it's not like that's my personality or anything. But just like, and it's not like I throw everything aside when I walk in here either. But it's just,
right.
I feel like
Until you have a
in
conversation.
this environment, what's that?
Until you have a conversation with me, then everything's out the window.
The biggest skill set in here, Maddie, is like you got a full gym of people, and it's like you're having a dinner party, and you got to entertain the whole dinner party, and everybody's like interests, political views, and goals are all different. So you have an hour, people come in, and you go, what the fuck am I gonna do right now? And, you know, like you guys know that feeling.
Well,
And then you have to look at the room, observe, figure out how you're going to approach it, figure out, and then what I'll do is I'm like, I'm gonna get these two fucking people to talk to each other.
I did that today.
I'm gonna keep them occupied. Okay, they're going. Now I'm gonna fucking dip and go over here.
Don't you just love that?
I love
when
it, man.
you can just get someone else
Leave
in
it
there
in
to
their hands.
cancel it. All right, yeah, I'm just gonna stand over here. You guys do you.
Yep.
Perfect. Just find your out. There's always like this
Yeah.
perfect transition, but the awkwardness comes when you can't find that transition.
Yeah,
and you just go, all right,
Matt, Matt,
that's all I gotta say.
The worst comes in the form of politics when people want to go there.
fuck,
I
yeah.
can't.
Could you?
Yeah.
Yes.
can't.
Could you imagine that? Imagine this, Matt. You're trying to. No, adults. You're trying to
No
execute.
kids.
You're trying to execute your job, and you're trying to be timely. And now all of a sudden, someone wants to have a political conversation.
Shut the fuck up.
Right?
just-
Imagine that, man.
I just whatever someone has to say, I listen to them, but I don't contribute to it. And
Yeah.
I like to think that me not contributing is a big indicator of hey, let's not talk about this right now.
Yeah.
Like, just shutting
Deflect.
that
Yeah, like
down.
drop it again.
Deflect. It's all about how do you deflect? How do you deflect without seeming
Right,
Yeah.
Paul?
Well, and
that's a whole art. We could teach a class in
that's-
that within itself.
That's an art. The other thing, so we'll look at the schedule, like, and we'll look at who signed into what hour, and we're game plan for, like, as a group, we'll game plan, like, okay, this person's on a new program, this is a new person, blah, 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 this is where we're going to put them. In that same time that I'm doing that, I'm also game planning, like, what the fuck am I talking to these people about?
Yeah.
Because
it's unique. I mean, everybody deals with people in their job, so you all kind of feel a similar thing. You need to build rapport and
But
connect.
I'm thinking about, okay, like in particular, there's like 2 or 3 kids that came in, I think it was yesterday. And when they came in, I knew immediately that I was going to be sucked into a fucking cubicle about football. Like, fucking cubicle of football. And I was literally over there for like 10 minutes while they were warming up, just talking football. And I was like, I knew this was going to happen. So I'm in it. I'm going to do this. And then the worst part, though, Maddie, is like not in that situation, but I'm in a conversation with like one person. And I'm trying to slowly walk myself to somebody else to help them because I see they need fucking help.
Yeah.
This person won't stop fucking talking. And
yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to be rude, but I got to go help this person. Mike's busy. Dan's busy. I'm like, all right. And I just turn around and I'm like, you do this. And then I continue the conversation.
The worst thing in the world is when the person I'm talking to is 100% invested in what they're talking about, and I have zero interest.
You're 0%. Zero.
I'm just like, oh my God.
Not even fan. 0.
And we were talking about this the other day, getting cut off.
What do you mean?
Like when if you are like answering a question.
Someone asks you a question, right?
And then you're beginning
the
to
person
answer.
answers it mid-sentence. Like you're
you
giving
answering
them the answer.
They say the answer.
They
They
say-
try to.
It's not the
not the right
answer.
answer.
But they try to, and it's just like one time is all right, 2 times I can like, all right. But there's people I've had many experiences in here too. It's just like 3 or 4 times where you're just cutting me off when you're asking for advice and help, and I'm just like, I mean, what do you want me to do? Like,
I can't
do you want
answer
me
a
to
question.
tell you to shut the fuck up? Like, what, like exactly.
Yeah.
Like, do you like and it drives me nuts because it's like you're here to learn and get better, and you're asking the question, but here I am giving you the answer or attempting to give you the answer, and it's just like you're cutting me off mid sentence, and it's like. It's very hard to keep your cool
it's hard.
sometimes.
The most important, the like helps with situations like that and other situations. I don't know why you, and Alyssa, our sister, I feel like our family never talked much growing up. We weren't very introspective, I suppose. Or like that just wasn't.
I would say, I mean, I was introspective.
You were introspective, but you didn't exert that introspectiveness.
Correct. No,
Right.
yeah, we didn't have
But
conversations.
I feel like
beyond
as
the
we got
surface.
older and we went through our struggles, I feel like most people in their 20s do, like we did.
Sure.
We sought help and we kind of dug deeper into ourselves and learned about ourselves. And in here, I couldn't imagine having the shitstorm that's thrown at us every day and not having this like level of groundedness.
Oh, yeah.
And like kind of like self-identity and perception and being able to like understand your own emotions.
Absolutely.
I couldn't imagine like being unregulated within myself and then dealing with 5 unregulated people.
It's a
Well,
shitstorm.
and that's also like in here with like things like that. It's just like learning how to get that person to usually slow their brain down.
Yeah.
Because their brain's just going 100 miles an hour. So then like a lot of times like if it's somebody that's
I
like
think we could run circles around some psychologist, Paul.
facts.
I'm an authority on this subject, but I will say, Mike, I think that you and I identify on the same level where, like, we become so invested in what we do that we kind of lose track of us and, really what we want.
Yeah, like that's
I'm right there with you.
like that's when I'm running on autopilot, I'm so invested in what I do and I'm losing track of me. That's my autopilot.
Oh, and you completely forget about what makes you happy.
Yeah.
But what makes, a great moment is when you kind of say to yourself, you're like, okay, like, this isn't all me. Like, I do have my own identity. I do have things that I like to do. And then that does give you some reassurance. But that's something that I think you find over time.
You find over time, and then you hit different layers of it in life. Like Sam, my wife, is due in 2 weeks. Like Jordy can get a text right now, and it could say, I'm going in
hold
labor.
on.
And then I'm like, I'm out, boys.
No, we're good. I didn't get a text.
Paul didn't, Jordan didn't. So we're okay right now. But it's definitely this other layer where you're like, okay, at first I was so selfish and just building my career and myself. And then I realized, okay, like Sam is incredibly important to me. So now I'm building my career and myself, but also our relationship together. And then I feel like the next layer was this point where I was like, okay, I'm building my career and my life with Sam, but now I want to build other people's careers too. Like my ego's gone now. Like it's not just fucking me getting it all. I want other people to have some as well, you know?
Yeah.
And now I'm not there yet. I could be there in 2 weeks or tomorrow, but now I'm going to have this another layer where it's like, okay, myself, my career, my relationships with Sam and my family, my relationships with other people I want to bring with me and build their careers, and now you're gonna have a fucking kid, which is I don't even know how.
For me, it's interesting to hear that perspective too, because in a way, like you just saying all of that, I'm 25. You know, I'm obviously
When I was
younger.
25, I was still like, it's fucking Mike and it's Mike, and that's it. You're years above where I was.
But even that, it's like it's also
you too,
putting my
Maddie.
mind, because my head does look forward, and it's like
It should always.
which it should, but it puts my mind at like ease, like hearing some of that stuff, because that's all the uncertainty that I'm feeling right now that you said you felt when you were my age and stuff, and it's like that's why it's also speaks to the environment and like what we do in here and this and that. It's for me to even hear that, it's like other people are hearing that too in certain situations. So it's like it's just not that everything's gonna be like sugar coated and like everything's gonna be a smooth path, but just like the fact that like you felt this way during that time. Like
Yeah, I think-
here I am in a specific situation where I'm 25 and I'm like I'm feeling these things where I'm like I'm so uncertain about some things, but I'm so certain about other
Yeah.
things. It's like what's important, what's not important, what's prioritized, what's not prioritized, and it's like, and then you learn through trial and error, and it's like, but it still gives me a good sense of like, because it's like you're obviously like you're talking about, you're about to have a kid, and how old are you again?
31.
31. So it's
Fuck,
like,
sometimes I forget. I'm not sure if I'm 32 or
but
31.
think
You'll
of
be
that, like,
32
that's
in
how
like 3
fucking
months,
crazy
and,
my head
I'll be
is.
33.
we've known each other for a decent amount of time, but I'm 25, and that's that's
We've known each other since I was 27 and you were 21.
Exactly, but
That's
like,
wild.
But
Same with you, Matt. Paul,
yeah.
I've known each other since we were fucking 7
Fucking
years
6
old.
and 7 years old.
so you were diving into that part,
Jordan since he was
27
fucking-
when I first met you, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, an open sponge, like wondering where's this gonna go, this and that. Now I'm in that time period
I
where
think
it's like,
you don't go to the next layer unless you drop off your ego, because there's no way that I can successfully have a family and a kid if I have an ego, because then I can't let go of here, and I can't let Paul be Paul and you be you and Jordan be Jordan and do their things and be okay with it, because I would fucking want so much control,
Right.
which I still struggle with a little bit. But
Which
feel
is
like
something that I've
but
talked,
it also
I've
speaks
talked
towards you
about.
care. It's just investment and, like,
Right.
and caring about it. So it's like it's good to it's a tough. It's with anything. It's you have to balance things, and it's tough to balance things sometimes. But
But that's when you have for Mike right now, he's brought in the right people to help him continue to keep this business running. And you even said, like, we had somebody in last night. He's like, dude, you could leave right now and this place is going to run fine. And they said that right to Mike.
shout out. You know who said that, Jay?
You know who said that?
Tell me who said that.
You know who
it's our
said that.
fucking guy.
What was the quote? I missed it.
He said, if you leave right now, like right now, it was a busy hour. He's like, you could leave right now. This place is going to keep running.
Shout out to
Dr. G.
B-Mock.
That is high praise.
Shout out.
That is
But
high
it was
praise.
like just
Wow,
in that
B-Mock.
moment,
Yeah.
and it's one of those things. Like, and I've talked to because I've obviously known about Mike having a baby and whatnot. But I'm like, you're gonna have to. There's gonna be adjustments, for him, and Dan and myself. It's all gonna be an adjustment. But you gotta take your hands off a little bit,
Yeah.
like and.
and trust too.
Well,
Yeah,
and
trust.
it's one of those
But
things for me. I don't
trust
think,
versus strangers versus
Right.
trust with your friends.
Right.
Trust Jordan play the right drop at the right time.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm not going to say what I was going to say because I don't want to shut the fuck up after I say it. So I'm going to keep that to myself. Just make sure you press record, Jordan.
Just make sure you press record.
Shut the fuck up.
Sam
had
did
to.
just text me, but she's okay.
Is she okay?
Jesus Christ.
Come on now.
I know, it
say,
scared me. She asked
Jinx.
if you could drive yourself home.
Imagine if that.
Can I drive myself home? Yeah, I can drive myself
Mike couldn't drive
home.
himself to the goddamn
Where?
the audio store.
Let's not talk about efficiency.
Because
right
I know myself. I was anxious. I said,
Somebody
I need
start the car.
Don't even open the door. Roll down the window.
He said, "Who's going with me?" And Jordan's going, "Not me."
I'm pretty sure Jordan.
I see Paul try to set up something. He set up for an hour. I already know it's set up, so he's just trying to avoid it. And then Matt's over here just standing here, and I'm just going, "Well, I'm the guy taking pictures. I wonder who Mike's going to ask." And he walks up to me and goes, "Can you drive me?" I'm like, "Wow, I wonder how I got that." Not that I was pissed about it, but
In my defense-
I'm obviously joking about it. But talk about efficiency, though. This what we left at
efficient were we, Jay?
6:55,
It's
got
all
there 6:58.
communication and teamwork.
Walked
It's
upstairs,
true.
got a 25-foot long. That might have been extra.
It's funny because
You
I-
handed
I-
me the phone, and some guy goes, John from the audio department. I
Thinking
go,
about-
you were
that's
just talking to
hilarious.
my brother? He goes, nope. I go, dude, I don't know. I don't know.
I figured that quicker Pierce and I got in the road, better it was. Let me give the phone to Jordan, tell him what we need. We get to the
I
store.
just saw X mark.
Yeah.
Because you're what, set up the phone for 2 hours.
Yeah, we got a new
it.
audio setup. We needed to get some more cords for this. We got the wrong cords, so
I mean,
that's fucking good teamwork.
That
it
is
worked out.
all
It worked
impulse. Just like
That was one.
Were you
Gotta
impressed, Matt?
Gotta see this. No,
And you also
listen.
didn't like
I've lived
anyone
through
else.
this between you and your dad.
Did that
just
remind you of Dave in that
Oh,
scenario?
That was 100% Dave, which is exactly why I stood on the side and was like, I've lived through this too many times. Where all of a sudden I'm just like, all of a sudden jumping, you know.
and it all started too with just the first thing you said was, "Who's driving?" And I was like,
Yeah.
I was like, "What do you mean who's driving?" You said you need to go get cords. I thought you were gonna go drive yourself. But it didn't start with, "Hey, what do we need? What's this, that?" It's like, "Who's driving?" I was like, and then you were doing what you were doing. Paul was doing what he was doing, and Matt was over here in the corner. I was like, "I know who's driving."
So many of those
I know
moments.
who's driving.
Matt, tell me why it wasn't you and it was Pierce that had to go with me then.
Besides the eyesight from me the second he said it, I don't know.
I mean, I wonder if Pierce is going through like the same thing that I went through, like working for Dave.
Do you think
where-
Pierce just felt how you felt with me
Oh,
as you
she's
felt
she's
with Dave?
Yes, you just jump right into like,
Dave,
got to
yo,
appease
I
the
don't even
boss.
know what would happen if I just looked at Mike and said, "You know what? Actually, I'm good."
There was a point where Dave could hand me a banana peel taped to a drumstick and say, "Paint this wall using this because I don't have any brushes."
Okay,
and
so-
I would find a way to get it done. Just like,
all right. How long
let's
do I
do
have?
it. And it was that same like rushed, like, "All right, quick, go, let's do it."
Well, what's funny is I definitely
efficient.
distinctly know that was exactly what happened. Like
Oh.
Mike said that, I was like, I'm
Oh, I
not
know.
driving. I don't know what the fuck he's thinking. Like, in my
But
head,
you
I
also were over here, and then I saw you gravitate towards something that was already set up.
Yeah, but I had
and then
to
you
fix
got on
it.
a knee, and you're like, "Let me fix it," and you moved it maybe like a millimeter, and then you're like, "All right."
Two.
Listen, Jay, this is past 8 o'clock. I can say whatever the hell I want.
This is the adult tour, and we can say whatever the hell we want.
On point. Look at that.
Oh, that was fantastic.
How is the new system over there? Smooth? Good?
It's smooth. I like it.
Sounds
I like
great.
it a lot.
This is a good group to run this new system with.
It is. I wonder how practical it will be when you're having more serious interviews.
I think it
And I'm
depends
just-
on. It's gonna depend.
I think
It's gonna be tough.
Like if Rob Immel's on, we can
Right.
throw the jizz in there. But
Yeah.
if
I think the editing and playing the audio live in the headphones, I think
It's
that-
worth it regardless. But this, for me, selfishly, this is what I want to be doing.
I was going to
So,
say, does it smoother? Does it feel
Yeah, you
better?
enjoy this
I'm
more?
more engaged.
Yeah.
I mean, this
Well,
is
yeah,
for
this
sure.
is you
I'm
guys
also glad that
hear
you're on camera,
you
too.
guys hear Jordy in the distance always, but now he's mic'd up because we have more feeds on the new setup. So
Well, and the other thing is a lot of times Jordy's just kind of sitting there observing, just paying attention to what we're saying, not chiming in when he can. And like now it's like he's actually engaged in it, and I definitely
Should
feel
be a
good
part
to
of
see
it.
like it's
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
make it
It
more
changes-
fun.
it
It's gonna make
changes
it a
the
lot
game
more
for
fun
me.
for you.
For sure.
That, and I mean, you do a lot of work.
I'm
Might as
also
well be a
just,
part of it.
I'm really just fucking sick of this goddamn laundry detergent.
Brambleberry, I mean.
Don't drink fucking crayon orange sparkler. Don't do it. Don't do it. I gotta finish it. It's open, so.
This episode of Off Exit 10 is brought to you by Anchor and the all-new Anchor Pro, crafted to endure the most high-performance workouts without the high cost and space requirements of a standard cable machine. Named the best portable cable machine by Men's Health Home Gym Awards, Anchor provides the full functionality of a cable machine in one small space-saving unit. Designed with user-friendliness in mind, Anchor can simply be attached to any squat rack or placed on any wall in your home gym using its intuitive sliding track mount. With up to 65 pounds of resistance, Anchor is built for high speed and controlled exercises alike, from cable presses and rows to chops and lifts. The Anchor has been a game changer for us here at CDSF, and now you can enjoy the same professional quality cable machine in your own home gym by heading over to anchortraining.com and using code CDSF10 for 10% off your order today. Get all the benefits of a cable machine without the high cost and installation fees. Enjoy the portable luxury and space-saving performance of Anchor today by going to anchortraining.com and using code CDSF10 at checkout. That's anchortraining.com, promo code CDSF10 for 10% off your order today.
What do we got here? Anything good here? You know,
Who's winning the Super Bowl?
Chiefs.
Ooh.
Maddie, I have no
I
fucking
was gonna say
idea.
we're not gonna ask Mike because we're well aware that Mike does not watch sports.
right now.
No idea.
Chiefs.
I'll say Bengals.
I'm on the Bengals
I'll say
train.
Bengals.
I would like
They're
a
talking too much
Bengals
shit.
Eagles.
They're talking too much
Super
shit.
Bowl, to be honest with you.
Patty Mahomes is about to be
I just
like,
want to watch.
"Ah."
I'm just gonna watch the halftime show, Matt.
I mean,
Who's that? Who's that? Oh,
Rihanna.
Rihanna.
I'm definitely watching that.
Rihanna.
What are the? There's
Is
always
that like
prop bets.
Kid and stuff. She had a kid, right?
Yeah, her and
Yeah.
ASAP,
She was
right?
ASAP. Yeah.
Yeah. I like the prop bets though. Always, it's like, what's the first song she gonna do? I'm gonna go.
Ponde replay.
I was gonna say Pony Replay. It's like her first ever like radio hit.
I would say something newer.
I'll say
remember the one
S&M, right? That's the song.
I was
I
gonna say
remember I
Ponde
did a bet
replay or
with Snoop
Umbrella.
last year or whatever it was because it was.
What?
She hasn't released a song in music in so long. She could open with literally.
Was
anything.
Anti her last album or Anti?
I think so.
Anti's good. There's the one song with Drake on Anti that I placed too.
I like the
what's
Tame
my name?
Impala
yeah.
remix.
No, not
Play
What's
some-
My Name.
play some
It's
Umbrella.
Work.
Oh, Work. Yeah. What's my name's the other one.
Yeah.
I think
yeah,
it's gonna
that's
be Ponde replay or Umbrella.
Okay. Umbrella's a good guess.
Who's gonna come out? Who's gonna be like featured? with
What
her?
city is it?
A good question.
Fuck, I can't remember.
Where's the Super Bowl? I don't know.
What is going to be the first?
They've been pretty regional for like 3 years straight.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, last year
could
was
be
different.
Umbrella.
Last year was different
I could
because
see
you
a whole
had
scene.
it was the West Coast, but then they brought out Eminem and
50
50 Cent
Cent.
too. It was just the whole Dr. Dre
Right.
shady aftermath.
Right.
Like interscope.
This
the
is
first song they
this is
played?
in Arizona.
There's no artist from Arizona.
Yikes.
I said if she's gonna bring out anybody, it's gonna be.
There's no
either-
umbrellas in Arizona. It's got to be.
The only person I
I
can see
don't
her
think
bring
it
out is
rains in
ASAP Rocky.
It's got to be Ponte replay, right? Umbrella, you got rain coming down. These people have never seen it before.
Yeah, well,
It's
what do we need an
110.
umbrella for? What
It's
is
like a quick
that?
egg on the fucking gravel.
Stevie Nicks is from Arizona. Stevie
That'd
Nicks
be
is
sweet.
cool as hell.
That would be sweet.
That'd
but
be cool.
That's probably not gonna happen.
That would be cool.
It doesn't rain in Flagstaff. What are we talking about?
Ponte replay.
I'm trying to think who would be like a special guest. I can't-
ASAP?
ASAP's the only one I could think of. He's the only one I could think of off the top of my head.
What happened
But I
with
feel
his
like-
You think-
shooting?
I don't
thing?
think ASAP's big
What's up,
enough
Jay?
of like
What
a
happened
public
with his trial? He shot somebody.
name, right?
Was he?
ASAP Rocky?
I
Did?
thought
And then he
it was
just
going-
like went away.
Wait.
Google
ASAP
it.
Rocky?
I said this a couple days
When?
ago, and I was like, didn't ASAP Rocky?
I don't
We were just
think
talking
so.
about Tory Lanez and how he's.
No,
Yeah, well, I
different
think
than
he's pretty
Tory
much
Lanez.
Did he
But-
also kill someone with a hatchet?
I'm telling you gotta watch it, Mike. I'm glad you told me that.
Yeah,
You
but I
gotta
would feel
watch it.
bad because that clip was fucking terrible. So it's like,
Yeah, that was a tough YouTube clip, but
I doubt somebody, if they listen there, are still listening
yeah,
right now.
yeah, they cut it off real quick. Something.
I mean, allegedly, we have to put that label on it, but yeah, he shot his
Did he
friend.
have a trial
Formally
though?
charged with
He shot
assault
his
with a
friend.
firearm after the Harlem-born rapper was arrested in April for allegedly shooting his friend during a disagreement.
ASAP Rally.
I mean, I guess this has always been a thing in hip
All
hop.
ASAP.
Like
As soon as possible.
the Young Thug trial thing is the crazy thing right now.
That shit's wild. He's fucked.
So it's like,
He's
Matt,
fucked.
there's this rapper. I know you're not into hip hop, right? But whatever, like very popular in hip hop music and even mainstream like pop music.
I'm into Alvin and the Chipmunks. Yes.
Well, this is kind of the other end of the spectrum from Alvin and the
Opposite end of the
Chipmunks.
spectrum. Although Young Thug sometimes does
But I-
sound like Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Yeah, I think he's won a Grammys before, but he has this label YSL, and
Label or gang?
the label, I forget what it's called, but then they said that this label YSL is, it's a criminal street gang in Atlanta, and they've done like fucking murders and drug deals and robberies and like 20 something of them got hit with like RICO charges. So now this guy's in trial right now.
Wait, Alvin or Theodore? Who got hit with charges?
They would never do that.
In that case, it would be Alvin. It would be Alvin because he was the leader.
They would never, but I think he's in trial right now.
Yeah.
He's done.
And it seems like he's fucked.
Gone forever.
I'm sure you've never
Thanks for playing.
you've probably have you
Better
never
luck
because you don't
next
follow
time.
hip hop at all, right, Maddie?
Not really.
So there was another case like this. It was the Black Mafia family,
Yeah.
and there's a show right now, like 50 Cent executive producer. It's a really fucking good show on Stars, and same fucking thing though. Like these guys were drug dealers that then got into hip hop, made a label, used a label to like launder money and all this other stuff, and then got fucking caught, and they are still in prison. And yeah, that's gonna be him.
Because that's one way to do it.
I mean, listen, they lived a luxurious.
But imagine
lifestyle.
you're in that life, right? Like you just grew up in poverty. You're around a bunch of dudes who are in gangs, and then you are musical and you hit it fucking big, and you got
I
millions.
think it
But these,
happens more often than not.
but these are still all your fucking dudes. You're gonna tell all your friends to go fuck themselves?
50 Cent did.
I guess. I mean, I guess it's harder to do that than not, right? Who are we to say? A bunch of white boys from fucking upstate New York,
Yeah. But you know, there's a lot of guys that have done that. You know, that have been in his situation and then said, "Well, fuck these guys because I'm not going down with them."
Yeah.
So it's but yeah, Young Thug is he's fucked.
I'm sure shit hits a fan when you're sitting in that fucking courtroom and push comes to shove and it's like,
Yeah, but that's no different than like Frank Sinatra and like his
Sure.
mafia ties
It's true.
too. It's
Yeah.
pretty much the
Explain
same
that,
thing.
Matt. Yeah.
that's
Go.
that's
good.
I don't know the thorough history, but I know that he had mafia ties.
His
that
name is
hel-
Sinatra.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, helped break him into the industry. I mean, there was always allegedly some sort of like tie to, why he was so successful. And then he got into the film industry. It's that whole subplot in The Godfather with, what's that character's name? Where the dude starts crying and Brando starts smacking him because he wants to be into the movie.
I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm
Shit.
talking about? Yeah.
What
I
is
fr-
his name?
It's
That's gonna
like
bother
Johnny
me.
Fontaine or something like that. He was like
Something
this.
along those lines.
That character is based off Sinatra, allegedly. So, I mean, it could be a situation like that. But yeah, no, I mean, that thing was very common. And Jersey Boys, I mean, that whole thing. I mean, so some of these guys did grow up, rough around the edges and then broke into the industry, but still had to support their friends or, their home ties.
Right.
So,
Well, and that's even in sports too. You see that with like athletes that get caught up because they are helping people that have been with them since they were kids and not the best people to necessarily be around. But then all of a sudden, that athlete's broke because this person just kept taking money and money and money and money, and it's like you see the same thing in sports. And like a guy I think of is Allen Iverson. He just happened to have a really good friend who put a restraining order on his Reebok contract. He can't touch until a certain point, so he's going to be made for life. But like,
But what do you mean? He can't touch money from it?
So his friend, who's like a financial guy, one of his best friends, put a restraining order on him until on his money that he got from Reebok.
On Allen?
Yeah, until he was 50, I believe. It was like recently because this all came out when he turned like 50, and then there was like another one that he could, put on until he was a certain age. And then he gets a certain amount per year from that account. And I think it was like $1 million per year or like $3 million, depending on how long he waited. And then, but Allen Iverson was known for literally just people that he was close to, just giving them money. Just literally giving them money. Jesus fucking Christ. Just giving them money just because like he grew up with them. Like that was it. And it's like his friend was like, this is not going to be sustainable.
what do they call that? Like a conservatorship? Kind of like that? Isn't that like what Britney Spears had?
Where like her dad was in control of it.
Yeah, like,
everything.
it's in control of that.
It's
so
kind of
that?
like that, but it was more like his financial advisor person was like, we're going to do this so that way you will be financially set because we see what you're doing now during your playing career, and you're not going to learn this until after you're retired.
Gotcha.
So like he, throughout his whole playing career, like all his money he earned, like he blew through like most of that because obviously on himself, but then also just literally just handing out thousands and thousands of dollars of money to friends and family that came from the fucking, you make it, everybody from the woodworks comes.
Yeah.
And he wasn't a no man. He was a yes man.
It reminds me of like that video. I don't know if anyone saw this, but have you seen the recent video like Delonte West? Do you remember him?
Oh, his is more mental health stuff.
I know it's mental health and stuff, but I remember the video specifically was saying like someone asked him like, "Hey, why are you in the position you're in?" And he's just like, "I just helped out family members or like this and that for as long as I could and got them set." And here he is, ex NBA, and he's homeless.
Yeah.
And I mean, mental health is definitely another part of it, but just like even just that part of it, it's like, you know, that's great. And a lot of people, you know, get that paycheck and they get that bag or whatever, and they sign that contract and they give back to probably people who got them there and stuff. But then I feel like it just continues to
People take the
spiral
handout
down.
and they want another handout and another handout
because it's
and another
consistent
one.
and because there's investment and like there's, you know, people who care about each other and stuff. It's like, how are you gonna, even AI, it's like if it's going to family members, what are you gonna tell a family member? No, it's like,
I mean, depending
you
on family member,
you should, but at a certain standpoint. But at the same time, it's like if someone is really struggling or whatever is going on, it's like, you're really gonna turn, with the lifestyle that you're living and the paychecks that you're getting, you're really gonna turn away from that and
Right.
tell them no. But then you get in this spot where you get fucked, and it's tough.
There's a whole 30 for 30 on it's called 30 for 30 broke. It's all about athletes that go broke.
What was it?
real-
T.O.? T.O. went broke, right?
No, T.O. Antoine Walker was the one that went broke. T.O. ain't broke. Come on.
Someone went
Imagine
broke as
it
shit.
like achieving that level of success and then all of a sudden just like falling apart before you're 30. And I mean that
Yeah.
goes with sports and like entertainment.
Yeah.
You know, specifically those two careers. You know,
Especially
And-
like acting, young acting.
I love
just-
Shaq too.
Yeah,
His
like
story
imagine
about
the
that.
like amount it takes, like the toll it takes on your mental health. Like when you're that famous and you're that popular and you're just that like loved and cherished, and then one thing completely throws you off. Like we look at people like
Macaulay Culkin.
Macaulay Culkin wasn't as bad as like some other ones. Like,
But he was
Like who, Maddie?
He was pretty fucking big, and then
well, who was like? I would say like
never got in trouble before.
Well, LeBron's
That's what
the
I think.
opposite end of that
That's
spectrum.
upset. Well, that's
Who,
what I
Maddie?
think
Give me
too, but-
somebody.
I would say like Amanda Bynes. You remember
Yeah.
that?
Nickelodeon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lindsay Lohan.
Lindsay, yes, Lilo,
Yeah.
Britney
You know,
Spears.
You know who
Yeah.
didn't go down that path, and she's a smoke show now. Hillary Duff. Shout out Hillary
Yeah.
Duff.
Didn't she have some? No, you're
No,
right. I
no,
think she's been pretty.
No, the biggest
she's
scandal
pretty
she
good.
had was she got proposed to, and then she, performed some sexual favors and got caught doing it.
Does Miley Cyrus fit that category?
Miley Cyrus.
She's kind of like up and down.
No, because
like, I
Miley
feel she went
Cyrus.
up and then she went.
I wouldn't say Miley Cyrus fits that category because she comes from money.
She can sing though.
She comes from.
She can sing.
Her
She
dad
can
is
sing.
really fucking Ray Cyrus.
No,
Like,
No, I know, but still. It's
So,
like,
like,
she
Miley
still looks like-
Cyrus,
What, Maddie?
in my opinion, just got a lot of pushback because she was making that transition from being
Hannah Montana.
exactly
Yeah.
that tween pop star into now an adult.
When we play like
you know,
Dua Lipa radio
artist.
in here, her songs are the best. that's
Her
on
songs
that
come on
station.
and I vibe
She has
the
songs
fuck
with
out.
Stevie
Lipa?
Nicks that
Yeah,
are like fucking fired.
Yeah, no,
Better flow right.
Have you
I
heard any of those,
agree.
Jay? It's like Miley Cyrus and Stevie Nicks. They have songs
No,
together.
but I do like Miley
Ooh,
Cyrus.
great.
Dua
Let us
Lipa,
find out
always
to one,
sing.
Jay. Find out Miley
Always give it
Cyrus
to her.
and
Dua Lipa
Stevie
radio
Nicks
does
song.
slap though. I'm a Dua Lipa fan. I'm not gonna lie. I can't.
I've never
Better
listened.
flow
to
It's
it.
a guilty pleasure of mine.
Summer flow right on radio.
Oh,
We
Flow
did a
Rider
lot of
Red,
that.
Great
here.
middle school dance.
Tayo Cruz, Dynamite.
That's
on.
another thing in here is like you look at the group and you're like, what music am I gonna play this hour?
Mike looked at me one time. He's like, "Yo, what do we play this hour?" And I looked around. I was like, "Dude, I got no fucking clue. This is a wild card."
Is there a
say,
Miley
yeah,
Cyrus Stevie Nicks song?
I read something like one of her more recent music videos. She filmed the music video so in the house because like her ex-husband Liam Hemsworth or whatever cheated on her in the house, and the song is directly about like him, like saying "fuck you" essentially. She filmed it in the house that he cheated on her with 14 women with, and like fucking dancing around.
women?
14?
I've never heard this
14.
before. I haven't
That's
heard
a
that.
lot.
I thought it was
You
more
mean
like Miley based.
14?
Wrong Hemsworth.
I know it's the wrong guy. Listen,
Still
close
counts,
enough.
still
You're right.
I'm all
Worth
on
the
your side
pun.
right now. Yeah, come on.
I literally just read
Where's the
it
sound
other day.
bite?
You gotta throw me one.
Throw me a bone here. Come on.
By the way, who's your favorite Hemsworth?
Yeah, literally. Is it Thor? Is the guy who cheated on Miley with 14 women?
Who's
That's
Who's
crazy.
the one from Westworld? That poor bastard.
Oh God, Luke. Oh really?
I have no fucking clue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Exactly. Damn, I got that song stuck in my head now. Shit.
The song "Flowers." That's the song.
14? Is that confirmed?
Dude, it's not. How would
so
we ever
I
know?
always thought.
We'll never know, but
I never
I
looked
read it
into it, but I
somewhere.
didn't know it was Hemsworth's fault. Like I thought it was always just Miley
the
based.
claim
because
that
she's
the
all
set
off
of the music video was where Hemsworth allegedly cheated on Cyrus with 14 women.
Yeah, done.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Well, that motherfucker ain't
At
with
what
her no
point
more.
does allegedly start getting a little because the number 14. I mean, how can you allegedly 14 people?
Yeah.
It's either 14 or it's not.
Yeah.
Like, there's definitely or there's no way it's a single person. Like, it's got to be more than one. If you're starting at 14,
That's
allegedly,
greedy. That is so greedy.
it's like
14.
And you had Miley Cyrus. Like, what are you doing? Come on. Get it together.
I do see that headline a lot. 14.
14's the number.
14.
Paul's right. Never mind, Paul.
I mean, let's not
I
say
read-
Paul's right. Stylecaster.com. I don't know what that's for.
I don't remember where I saw that. That was not where I saw it.
Where's the check mark?
I had a little bit more legitimate source over here that I was looking at.
14.
Wikipedia, you know.
Fucking dog.
I was gonna say, was your source Liam Hemsworth?
I mean, if he said it, then yeah, he definitely fucking did it. Fucking Liam
14.
Hemsworth. Miley
God
Cyrus.
damn.
Yeah, well, there you have it, folks.
Yeah. And cut. Just perfect.
Jordy's gonna kill these fucking sound clips. I already know it. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be awesome.
How many do you have on there?
Right now, I've got
goddamn it.
9, 18 plus 6, 24.
That's a lot.
The drops have been pretty good.
They're
It's
good.
It's got room for 12 more. And we're going to cycle some of these out of here. So, yeah,
mean,
there's
what,
a lot of fun to be had.
What else is some of them that you like?
Oh, let's see. I mean, I've played most of them where I've found the spot for them. Of course, I love Maddie.
It's testicles.
That was the first time you
That's
were
a
on.
classic.
I haven't found the spot for this, but Matt said this, and I had to pull it.
Because it's a funny fat guy.
That would have been good for like Chris Farley when we were talking about him.
Well, he was talking about Chris Farley the first time.
Oh.
That's where that was.
I was
from.
gonna say this before. You will appreciate this. I saw Adam Sandler live,
Did you really?
like stand up.
Oh, yeah, New Hampshire, right?
In New
In his
Hampshire, in his
hometown.
hometown.
Okay.
It was fucking awesome because it was like a comedy concert. So he did like his singing and stuff too. But then at the end, he did a tribute to Chris Farley, and it was so like it was a little emotional, but it was really fucking good.
He did that. What did he have come out recently? It was like his documentary that he
Yeah.
had 100% fresh.
Yes.
It's like, yeah. And he did like a segment where he did like a song, a tribute to Farley.
Yeah.
It is sad. It really pulls at you.
The best part
Yeah.
about it being 100% fresh is I'm pretty sure that's a play on Rotten Tomatoes and how they fucking blast
Yes.
fucking Billy
Yeah.
That's
Madison.
exactly what it is.
Because they gave Billy Madison like what's Rotten Tomatoes Billy Madison rating? It's
I bet all of
30
his
something.
movies
I'm going to
No,
guess.
I bet you- I think-
33.
I think it's
Everybody
worse.
take a guess.
33 for the tomato. The popularity, though, is probably 65.
I'll let Matt
27
take
for the
this.
tomato. I'm gonna say like 75 for the popularity.
I'll let these two take it. I got no idea.
Okay, well, it's 41 for the tomato.
Ooh.
Audience coming in at 79.
Okay. So I was closer on
Yeah,
the
you were
audience. You were
closer,
closer
yeah.
on the yeah. See, it's because I'm an audience guy. What can I say?
Let's see, Waterboy's worse. That's
Waterboy's
at
definitely
33.
worse.
Little Nicky's probably worse
Little
than
Nicky's the
Waterboy.
worst.
Yeah.
Little Nicky's like 17.
Let's look that
No,
up.
it can't be 17 because I think the worst on Rotten Tomatoes is like 13% ever.
There's got to be some zeros.
Oh,
Well,
like-
Nicky's at 21.
Well, some of his Netflix ones are definitely.
oh, the
like,
Ridiculous Six must be like a...
Or Jack and Jill.
single
Jack and
digit.
Jill. was
Jack and Jill's
bad,
terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible. Hubie Halloween though, I will say that's a guilty pleasure. That's a
Hubie
guilty
Okay,
pleasure.
I'm going to disagree with this one. The lowest that I'm seeing is 8 Crazy Nights, and I love that movie.
8 Crazy Nights is
So
fantastic.
when we were younger,
that doesn't
Jay,
count. That's an animated. That doesn't count.
when we were younger, our parents, we were probably, how old, Jay? What year did that come out?
I was probably single digits. It came out in 02, so I was 9.
12. Hey,
And
you
I
asked
was
me when
11.
12.
So my parents were like,
was
"Let's
5.
take these guys to a Christmas movie." So they took us to 8 Crazy Nights, and it's it's like it's a little bit more mature. It's not for like an 11-year-old
Yeah.
and a 9-year-old.
Yeah,
I could see
think I've
Dave
ever
loving
seen
it,
that.
though.
Sandler's got a
heard of it.
0%. And
What?
it's
I've never
the
heard of it.
You never
ridiculous.
heard of
Six.
8
Yeah,
Crazy
I
Nights?
can see that.
Oh my god, you gotta watch
It's like an animated,
I've
like
never
Christmas
seen it.
Hanukkah.
It
movie.
is funny.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
funny.
Norm might be it. Like Norm and Rob Schneider and all
Yeah,
that,
well, I'm
you know.
sure. I'm sure all
They're
those
all
guys
in it,
are
come
in
on.
it.
Yeah,
Jack and Jill, 3%.
Yeah, Jack and Jill's the worst.
that was horrible. Pacino's in it, too. Whew.
Yeah, they're
I
all low.
love the fact that all of his movies have like his boys in it. Like it's so great.
Yeah. And they make money.
Yeah. Oh, like Rob Schneider opened for him at the
Did he
comedy
really?
show. Yeah, his
Hey,
his
yeah.
sound quality, like the sound itself, wasn't great, but like he was still fucking hilarious. It's fucking Rob Schneider.
He gives
It's Deuce Bigelow.
Rob some pulse, you know? It's just...
Yeah, Deuce Bigelow. Come on.
That was like Rob's only vehicle. Like,
I don't care. It's so good. It's so funny.
I don't give a shit.
Have you seen Deuce Bigelow?
Nope. Oh man.
I will say, though, Rob was
like
probably
I've seen a lot of
funnier than
films,
Sandler on SNL.
Yeah, I think in that setting he probably is.
He was like a... I could see Rob Schneider like getting. Actually not. I don't know. I don't know where his career is at anymore. Him and David. I mean, David Spade's probably doing better, but
Him and David Spade, they just live off Adam Sandler.
yeah.
Like they make when Adam Sandler makes a movie, they're in it, and that's it.
Who's pretty much the Farley King of Queens guy?
Kevin James.
Kevin James. Yeah.
Oh, shout out SUNY Cortland.
Yeah.
SUNY
Did he
Cortland.
really?
Yes, he
Yeah.
did.
No kidding.
I love Kevin James. King of Queens. Grew up on that shit. So good.
Wow. The
Carrie,
alum.
Carrie, I had such a childhood crush on Carrie. Oh, she was great.
He's in Grown Ups too. Right?
Oh yeah, who's
Yeah.
that?
Grown Ups.
Leah
I
Remini.
like Grown Ups.
Yeah, she
She's a-
was in that.
She's a Scientologist.
Yeah,
Yeah. You
that's just crazy. Yeah, there's a documentary with her in it. Yeah,
Well, and Grown Ups, like you were talking about, that's like all of Sandler and his boys. That's what it
Yeah.
is. It's like
That's awesome.
him,
Like,
Chris isn't Chris Rock in that? No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
Chris Rock, David Spade,
James.
Kevin James.
I think he's going
Nick
on tour
Swartzen.
soon. I think Rock's going on tour, doing a special soon or something
Rock's,
like that.
he was on tour with Chappelle in Europe.
Yeah,
I hope he talks about that slap.
He did.
he's gonna have to,
He
right?
did.
He did.
He's gonna
That's-
have to
that
address
was like-
it.
He said something very funny.
Like what?
Will Smith put out a YouTube video like apologizing, and he said something to the effect of "fuck your hostage" video because it's filmed like a hostage video. Will Smith's like looking so dire, and he's like, "I'm so sorry."
Why does Will
Yeah, with
Smith
a
do
gun
that,
to his
Matt? It's
back.
fucking nuts.
That was so great when that happened. First off, I was watching the Oscars live, of course.
Did they cut it?
They cut it. They cut it. So whatever happened, they didn't do. So everyone was like, that was such a weird cut because it cut right to Rock saying,
Did you know it was a weird cut?
yes, because it just jumped right to like everyone was laughing and all that. Because of course there's like some sort of delay that they have during like even though the Oscars are technically live.
Right.
But it just jumped right to Chris Rock just like looking so frazzled and saying, wow, like, okay, like.
I just got bitch.
Yes, that's exactly what he said.
just
He's like,
happened?
I just got bitch slapped by Will Smith. And then I was like, okay, no way. I was like, this has got to be like a stunt. Nope, really happened.
Yeah.
And
I
like,
can't. I still can't believe that.
no, dude, imagine like
It's so
a live-
casual. It's so
Yeah.
casual. Just
And
walk up, just.
Like,
Still don't care. Fucking still love Will Smith.
like I don't know about the
Okay.
joke.
Nay,
I thought the joke was kind of harmless. Like,
Harmless joke, a G.I. Jane joke.
Yeah,
G.I.
like
Jane.
Yes, I mean, I think it personally was harmless, especially because Will Smith's a
But how
comedic actor.
What, she had
how
alopecia?
trouble are you in your relationship to then like have a response like that?
yeah,
Well,
but like, but here's the thing: any normal person like would have just been like, I'll deal with this afterwards. Like, or I'll say something, or at that point, I'll be so cooled down and I would have forgotten about it because he ended up winning the Oscar that night.
Right.
And he was
So
crying
yeah.
about it. Yeah, he was crying.
Yeah, who
about it and
remembers that?
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His
no
career
one.
achievement absolutely
Nobody
flushed
remembers it.
By him going up and
because he had a temper tantrum.
Well, and
Yeah.
Denzel said something to him beforehand about like, you know, the devil or something is gonna come like at your best,
Yeah.
at your
Yeah.
biggest moment,
Yeah.
and then it fucking happened,
Did.
and he was like,
Yeah.
well, I guess should have listened to fucking Denzel.
yeah.
I didn't see the situation to just walk up there, like you said, live TV.
Well, there's also
and
a
just
history.
smack the fuck out of it.
There is a history between Chris Rock and Will Smith.
Doesn't matter.
So
Doesn't
like it
matter.
wasn't, but it's not the first time. Like
It's
I don't.
still
Again, I'm not
that
condoning what he said.
platform
I
and
don't. I'm
that-
not condoning what
No,
he
I
did
know
or
you're
anything.
not,
but
but-
when there's a history of Chris Rock making jokes about Jada Pinkett Smith being bald and like all of that, like yeah, eventually it's like when's enough enough? Like shut the fuck up type thing.
Yeah,
and
but-
I get it, but you
but
don't need to go
also-
up there. You don't need to go up there and smack his face.
him in the middle of the Grammys.
Part of Chris Rock's job during that and like
Is to do that.
is to go
that.
up. So like you have to like know where you are, know your setting, like know that you're gonna be pointed out. Like
Oh, yeah.
you're a celebrity. Like
Correct.
that's gonna happen. You're
Kevin
gonna
Durant definitely wanted to smack the shit out of Peyton Manning when he made fun
Think
of him.
about all the replies.
that's the thing, but he
they
didn't.
see.
Right.
So it's just like
Think about all the replies they either see or don't see, but at some point someone has to see. Like people who don't like a Twitter or something, like this and that. People are just shit talking you. This, I know it's a bigger platform and Chris Rock's up there during the live whatever, but still, it's like he got that bothered or whatever's going on in that relationship, where just to walk up and just
well, like
smack him.
Mike said, he like whatever was going on in that marriage for him to have to do that,
Have
go to
to.
that
It
extent
was
to
have
to
to.
prove himself.
Cause he like looks over at her. He's like good. He looks at her.
He was
I was
laughing.
If you look
he's
like-
like,
he
he's
was
like,
laughing.
oh,
He was
he's like, oh, she's
cracking
not good right
And then he
now.
looked back over at her, and then you
shit.
just see
He's
his
like,
face
oh.
like
He's
completely
like, oh,
just
never
go
mind,
like,
I'm not good.
Yeah, he's like,
Not
I gotta
funny.
make up for the fact that I just laughed at this joke.
That's what happened. Really, that's literally what
Yeah.
happened.
But like, who wears the pants? Clearly,
Well, we already knew that. Come on, the entanglement. Let's get real.
Oh boy.
She's very open about about that.
Yeah.
Like,
Jizz.
Yes. What was it? August Alsina or whatever
Yeah.
it was.
I did see a funny ass video though. It was like him and his kids, and they were talking about like which, like it was one of those things where it's like which kid would like cry at a movie, which one would do this, which one would do that. And he's like, fucking Willow would cry at any movie. Like, why is this happening? Like, and it's a fucking, he's like, it's a comedy. Why are you crying? And I was like, yeah,
make
all
you
right.
feel better. Laugh. Don't cry.
Did you see his new movie on Apple TV yet or no?
oh, what was that? Emancipation? Yeah, I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it yet. I was gonna watch the other day and then I just didn't get to it.
I still haven't seen King Richard.
I haven't
Yeah,
either,
me
but I
neither.
need to watch that because that movie I've heard nothing but great things about.
I hear great things about it too, but tennis doesn't really like.
Yeah.
My thing is I love Serena, so that's why I want to watch it.
yeah.
I love Serena. She's the GOAT. Greatest
Could be the
and I will put it on a
athlete
record.
of all time.
I will put
Say
exactly.
it.
Of all
Say it,
time?
Paul.
She's the greatest
Of all
athlete
sports,
of
all-
all
everything.
time. No
Everything.
matter the sport, no
Everything.
matter the gender, no matter
Everything.
what, she's the GOAT.
What age?
No
she's-
man has ever won a goddamn tennis match against the best players in the fucking world while pregnant.
When you put it in that perspective, yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
She won a fucking what is it? A major championship while
Was she
pregnant.
really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Didn't
that's
she,
amazing.
was
I didn't know
wasn't
that.
she like 16 when she won her first championship? or
she's been
something
around
like that?
forever. Like she's the GOAT. Like she's
in turn. Yeah, I mean, she
dominant
could be in that debate of
and she was
greatest athlete of
dominant
all
at
time.
40 years old too, almost. Like that's the thing too. Is like she was dominant from 16 to like for 25 years.
Did her dad have to smack somebody to defend her honor?
Actually, yes.
I wonder if they appreciated that. Like, this is the guy who's representing our dad in
father.
media, and here he is on one of the biggest nights to like promote this film, this heartfelt film,
Right.
and then here he goes.
Well, the other thing with like Serena too is like the amount of shit she took throughout her career for how she dressed, how she carried herself, what she did. Like she brought a whole different style to tennis, and it was like, and the fact that she was like a big, strong woman. Like she's not a fucking petite woman.
Yeah.
But like she was bashed for her figure, she was bashed for what she wore, she was bashed for how her attitude, but yet she never let it waver her, and she became the fucking greatest of all time. And like she's
Talk about
awesome.
that a lot.
Yeah, no, I do appreciate the status that she's got. I mean,
She's
tennis
awesome.
is something that I don't follow. I mean, I don't follow sports in general, obviously, as we talked about. She did show up in the new Knives Out.
That's what I was gonna say. Glass Onion, she was
yeah,
in there.
which was great.
she
Yeah,
was there.
She
Was the movie
has
good?
like a funny little cameo in
It's,
it.
it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I gotta watch that still.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah, it's worth checking out.
Another Academy Award nominee. Writing.
For what? For writing?
Writing. Ryan Johnson got his
Good
second
movie.
Oscar nomination.
Great
Good,
fucking
good
movie.
movie, but not a great movie. I think
Not
it's
as
a
good as the
movie.
first.
No,
one.
I
Not as good
agree.
as Knives Out.
Now, if you were to leave somebody with one movie recommendation, what would it be right now?
Current or from
Current.
current? Trying to think. I really enjoyed The Fablemans. It's probably one of Spielberg's most heartfelt, purest things he's put out in a while because it's about him. But it was good. It was enjoyable. It kept me, along. And he does have an interesting life with the way that he puts out, films. And some people, I do find him to be quite controversial with some of the stuff that he puts out, especially, when it comes to his franchises. But no, that was pretty good. I'm just trying to think if anything else that I saw lately was good.
You see Banshees, Maddie?
I did.
It's really
I did.
good.
I
I love
did.
that
Yeah. That was good. Yeah.
a good
Brendan
movie.
Gleeson, Colin Farrell, another first time Academy Award nominee, Colin Farrell finally, and Brendan Gleeson.
Really, first time?
Yeah.
Wow.
And that new guy, Barry Keoghan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He barely had any screen time and he got nominated.
He got
must have-
nominated-
He must have had 5 minutes.
He got a BAFTA, Academy Award, Golden Globe,
Yeah.
and SAG nomination.
Yeah.
Wow.
No.
The movie's great.
Yeah, no, the movie's awesome. Martin McDonough did
It's really good.
3 boards outside
What-
Ebbing,
what is
Missouri.
that one?
Banshees of Inisherin. It's on HBO Max if you want to stream it.
You ever see In Bruges?
No.
That's a good one with Colin Farrell and what am I thinking? Brendan Gleeson. But Banshees, Fablemans. I'm trying to think of what else. I still have yet to see The Whale or
Or what we talked about already. Top Gun Maverick.
yeah, Top Gun Maverick.
seen Top Gun
Another
either.
Best Picture nominee.
Huh?
I haven't seen Top Gun, the new one.
I hate you. I hate both Matts right now.
Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. I still haven't seen,
heard good
but
things
they're
about
saying
that.
that's the potential Best Picture win right there.
Yeah, I think. Listen to Matty and his recommendations.
Did the whale
Except
get good
for
reviews?
Except no, Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Not that one.
except for that, I think.
Whoa, hang on. What are you trying to say here? It's testicles.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, listen. When people make jokes, don't go smack them. Just take the joke and go over to OnlyFans/CrispyCannoli69 and take a look. So $25.99 a month.
Get your
and
beanie. Get your fucking beanie.
yeah, enjoy.
It's all just pictures of pastries.
That's it. No, boys, I appreciate you coming on. Jordy, the new system, we'll get it rolling
Yes,
for
sir.
2023.
Thanks for
and,
having
For
us.
sure.
Yeah, we'll keep it rolling and we'll catch everybody next time.
Hell yeah.
Thank you.